we are live, fresh, pressed, fresh in the building. Starting to really get the hang of that goofy intro. I'm a little bit tighter on it. Each time I'm playing with it, getting a little bit tighter and coming into the feed. But welcome back. We are back with another episode of our bi-weekly show extravaganza, meant to titillate, meant to really tickle the senses and that surface noise. I'm Concert Buddy. As you can see, I'm in a new locale, so my audio is a little not top notch. We're getting there. I'm going to play around with some things here, but joined by some familiar faces and a new face, which we'll go ahead and lead off with our new face on the dais. That is somebody I've been collaborating with a lot. Great new channel to the vinyl community. That is Jason over at Spins Vinyl. Jason, welcome. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. I'm doing great, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on. I'm stoked.
Well, welcome. And then a returning champion, wrongly accused of being disruptive on a live stream earlier today. So he's here to vindicate his name. And that is the one that he's even dropped one of his names. He usually comes with 3 or 4, but we're only getting 2 tonight. That's Jose Moreno. Ron, how you doing, Jose?
Good. A little hot over here, but managing. And what better for warm weather than more hot beverages? Right?
Well, it's an interesting choice because you said the temperature's hot, but yet you're drinking some what do they call it? Java?
Well, yeah, you can
cafe. Is that the right way to say it? Cafe.
Yeah, cafe. Yeah. Well, it's a Latino thing, I guess. When it's super hot, you had to drink like soups and hot coffee and things like that. I don't know why. But
it makes it seem cooler outside when you're hotter on the inside, maybe.
Maybe.
That's awesome. And then the man who's going to be a central figure in our show because our leadoff topic, my man he knew it. And that's David Bianco, Safe and Sound, Texas Audio Excursion. How you doing this evening, David?
Good. Hey, thanks for asking me, Chad.
Look at this. Listen to this. That's a Freudian slip because a certain man in Salina, Kansas has been on David's mind here recently, like a few of us. But anyway, I want to thank everybody who's joining us now. If you're listening to this later on the podcast, welcome. We're going to have a really interesting conversation about current events in the vinyl community and record collecting at large, but then also a couple of topics we've kind of worked through a little bit. So we'll see how time goes. But like a lot of things, you plan. What's that saying? Make plans and God laughs kind of thing. And we made the plans about our topics at the beginning of the week. And wouldn't you know it, there comes a news bombshell. I think I got the email at like 6 a.m. my time. So very interesting choice of a news release. But that is the big news of the Atlantic 75 series with acoustic sounds. Now, Atlantic has been putting out 75 anniversary releases on their own, 33 RPM. I'm sure if you've been in your local record store, you've seen them. Oh, see, there we go. David's flashing one right now. So not a big surprise to that piece. What's surprising is that these are getting a little bit more deluxe, a little bit of something. And so they've partnered with Chad and team at Acoustic Sounds. They're going to be making a select series of albums at 45 RPM, all the bells and whistles you're used to, the great jackets, you name it, we're coming at you. Good price point, $60. Limited. They've got all kinds of foil embossing if you get in, and we'll kind of get into that. So we'll just kind of start there. Jose, first reactions when you heard this news, and is this something that appeals to your record collecting approach?
I think Atlantic is a good label. I think that perhaps for me, there's less titles that I want than other people. But my only problem, I was excited for some, like the Velvet Underground, which I did ask today on Michael 45 had a stream with Chad, and I got to ask at the end, and he said that that's about like a 3-year wait. So that's probably going to be one of the last ones, if not probably the last one. Which, makes me bummed because when I hear pre-orders for 3 years, I don't get excited at all. I think that if it was the 75th birthday of the, the anniversary of the label, I would have loved if it was not. It didn't have to be 75. Titles. They could have been like 15, 10, 20, and maybe make them this year. And then the other ones just keep celebrating, I guess. But so I'm happy for some. The Genesis interests me. Definitely the Velvet Underground. There's some stuff that I am not as fond of, or that I think that they already did like a good version of it, print or something. But maybe it will lead to something better. Again, I'm happy when there are like out there titles that, even if I don't like them, I think they're great additions to the audiophile world. Like even Matchbox 20 or Hootie on the Blowfish, which I think are very interesting titles, not in the best way possible. I think that they're welcome in the sense that maybe some other titles can be, chosen just based on the fact that they are recorded nicely, and it's about time to make like a definite version.
I'm with you. So before we move to David's opinion on this one, I just want to meet this one head on. We were talking about it in the pregame. Jose, there are some allegations that you are causing mischief in that live stream.
Well, the allegations, I think, came from the person asking.
Wow, Mr. Stark. Mr. Stark, is this true? Were you the one who... Wow,
no,
what's going on here? Talk. I thought we're trying to keep this straight and narrow, gang. But Jose, how do you plead to these charges against you?
No, not guilty. Actually, you asked me on Instagram if it was me commenting and that I was on fire, and I thought you meant like when I was on Rachel's in the morning.
No, sir, no,
and
because whoever this gentleman or gentle person was just they were fit to be tie-dyed, to borrow a common expression. And when your name got circulated, I had to reach out privately because it seemed a little against type, because you may make a joke here or there, but I mean, this person was doubling and tripling down on.
They were possessed.
I have to rewatch it. I only saw like the screenshots that some people asked me if it was me. And that's why I came in like at the end, because you asked me, and I was like, I was working, doing my stuff, and I was like, I'm not even gonna watch it.
Jose's actually like in the real world, like making a difference and making money and doing real things. He's being reeled into these VC dramas that he has.
Yeah, I was not even watching, but I just came in like, what the fuck's going on? But no, and it was like South American something Euro, and I'm not even from South America. So
that's the irony of all ironies. You're not
and I don't have any euros on me right now, but
Well, we're glad to clear your name, Jose, because the last thing we want is the hate mail and the vitriol that can come your way with being a disruptive force. Now, David,
yes,
you were given a shout out on the same live stream. We're kind of drafting off the live stream here for a second that Michael 45 and Chad held earlier. And you got a shout out because, is it true you're here to set the record straight? You may have had an inkling that this was coming down the pipe, and he called you Dave, and we know that's a no-no. If we know David Bianco, it's David. Let's be very clear. Not Crisco. It's not Davey. It's nothing. It's David. So how did you feel?
And I don't really have a strange name, so I guess that's not a problem.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I didn't set you up for that one. Wow. So anyway, in serious tip. So you had an idea this was coming. Obviously, you have a relationship with Chad, and credit to you for keeping it confidential. But your own impressions of this announcement, and is this something that you're excited about? Do you think it moves the hobby forward in any way? I mean, initial thoughts.
It's huge. I mean, in terms of the volume and the work and the effort. I mean, when I visited Chad last year, he was just putting the final touches on the Steely Dan deal. And I got a sense of how much is involved with those, 7 records or whatever it is. I mean, and this is like 10 times as many. There are a lot of balls in the air with something like this. both from the pre-work and the contracting and the even setting up of the plants. He's going to have some done at RTI, early presses at
Sure.
QRP. It's just I look at it a little more analytically from a business perspective, I guess. As far as the output goes, there's a little bit of something for everybody, which is what I like about it. It gives a lot of people a choice of some things to get, as opposed to, just saying, oh, it's all old jazz, or oh, it's old this or that or the other. It's got some new stuff. I feel like Chad's kind of starting to see where he can find a lane, although it's narrow with analog, in some of these newer things to go in. So that's really a good indicator to me for him and for the business. So I think it's got a lot of positivity to it. Yeah, you can always say, why Dusty again, and why this again, and why, okay, you could do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, this is a huge undertaking. And I think for me, I think I decided I'm going to go with the monthly subscription thing, because to me, that's the best balance. I don't have to put out all the money at front. Sure. I get the shipping for free, and I can manage it. And then I'll have the set, and I'll have a low number. So to me, and I wasn't even considering it at first, but I just said that makes really good sense. That's a middle of the road option that he gave an average person. And so, the more I think about it, the more I think, yeah, half of them aren't going to be ones that I'm really hot on, but it's a collection and it's a collector thing. So I think he's done a really good job of trying to mitigate some of the concerns about newer material and bringing the price points down from UHQR. We're not going to have a box this time, so that'll keep certain people quiet for a while. So, I think all in all, it's an interesting evolution in his business.
That's fair. Yeah. Now Jeffrey Beaumont raises a good point. He said, "Wouldn't it be sweet if the titles they haven't announced are box sets?" Hadn't really considered that.
Now there is a box set for $4,650.
No, but also, I don't know if you saw that post that Atlantic themselves put, but there's something going on with Vinyl Me Please, and I think it's a box set.
Oh, well, that would make sense, because Vinyl Me Please is doing some titles. Like they're doing Stone Temple Pilots #4 album. So there seems to be, they're kind of piecemealing a lot of this 75 plan. Now those aren't 45 RPM, I don't believe. I don't have it in front of me, but there's definitely a lot of cooks in the kitchen on this project in different forms.
But so for example, you have to also understand that some titles are Atlantic exclusive for like this Led Zeppelin 4 that they announced. That's like translucent, transparent vinyl. Right. And then I don't remember the other ones were, but I know there's a few photos that they put out. But so those are going to be different titles, not just like the same that Chad chose as 33s. They're like different titles, and these Vinyl Me Please ones. So it's going to cover a lot of range.
Sure. And
it's still the celebration of the thing. We don't have, I don't think, if anybody knows here, but I don't think there's any like details about like their pressings for like Led Zeppelin 4. I don't know if it's like the remaster, the remixed thing.
No, I saw that email today, and it's a clear vinyl, but yeah, it was very light on details. So it doesn't, no details if it's the Jimmy Page remaster.
Jimmy says.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, a little light on details, but well, Jason, new guy here. I'm sure you've heard this news. I don't want to like put you on the spot and say, are you an audiophile? But I know you're a vinyl enthusiast. What's your initial read on this project? And is it something that excites you, something that you think is good for the hobby? Tell us what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, to be 100% honest, I'm probably not a customer, just because, I'm going broke just buying originals and putting together a collection for a long time.
I don't have to GoFundMe for Jason's channel here at the end of the broadcast.
Well, and GoFundMe for a house to be able to fit it all too, So it's kind of like, when it comes to stuff that, is pretty readily available, I already have, it needs to be kind of an exciting release for me. I do like the mention Jose said of the Zeppelin 4. That's one that I need an upgrade for, so I might be looking forward to that. But do I think it's good for the hobby? I mean, yeah, I think, putting records out there, especially, I guess, audiophile quality records are going to be good. If the community is going to support it, then, You know, it's fantastic. I just don't know. First of all, this is the first I'm hearing about it because I didn't watch the stream. And I've heard things kind of.
Oh my god!
You know, I'm a total black sheep here on this topic, but it's like, yeah, you know, does it excite me? I mean, personally, not that much, you know, but on the other hand, it's, you know, I think it's good. I mean, hey, if you can put out 70 albums and sell them, I mean, that means the community's thriving, and that's great. It's funny. I think Jose said some of these are coming out 3 years down the road. It's like it's going to be 78th anniversary by the time they come out. And, you know, and to David's point is that, you know, if it's 75 albums, is there a potential? And if these are going off to different pressing plants and stuff like that, is there going to be a variance in quality? Maybe not. I mean, it seems like a lot of the stuff they put out is fantastic, but yeah, I guess that'd be the only other thing. 75 is a lot of albums.
Yeah. And I think David kind of brought it up earlier too, that, Chad was very transparent about they're going to have to, for lack of a better word, offshore these to RTI and maybe other pressing plants to kind of keep up with. Because obviously, Acoustic Sounds has their own capacity challenges, and they've got UHQRs, they've got their own titles. And David, we can add something. Looks like you.
Well, that creates a FOMO for getting yours early though, because they'll come from QRP.
Does your plan that you have for the month-to-month thing, you also get like the number thing, the limited number thing?
Like, yeah, you get it's between 251
200
and 500.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like David in that when it was announced, I wasn't like blown away. I needed to kind of digest. I'm warming up to the idea. Originally, I was going to probably pick and choose some titles, to be honest, because some spoke to me more than others, and a lot of the titles, frankly, I already have originals or I already have copies I was pretty happy with. Like the John Prine one, for example, I have an original. I've got the Vinyl Me Please. So it gets into the territory of duplicative titles. And do you have, like you said earlier, Jason, do you have the house? Do you have the space to house all these things? So you got to be a little bit thinking of that.
You know, I will say that I think that this is the best time if you're new to the game of vinyl, and for whatever reason you go into it like as an audiophile, like straight up. I think this is like a great moment for you because all your basic grounds are going to be covered. But again, because I do sound like a broken record, I think that it is also interesting if you can also feed the need of those who have been collecting for a long time.
Sure.
Because again, it doesn't. I'm with Jason. Like there's some stuff that really didn't excite me at all. And again, I'm excited for the Velvet Underground because it's a record I love. Is it my favorite Velvet Underground record? No, that's the black one, self-titled, but not the with Nico, just the and I like it, but again, it's just like I'm buying a new version of a record that I already own like 2 copies of. So there's some solid stuff, I guess. But if you're new to it, I think it's going to be way better for them because it's like, again, it's the same with Vinyl Me Please. I think they have great titles, but most of them are not records that are like hard to find, or which they have exceptions, right? Like there's a Vinyl Me Please record that I've been raving about all this last month. They just put out on the country section, and that's a record that's normally from that artist, Chalino Sanchez. That's a $500 to $1,000 record, any pressing you can find, and I've only seen 2 in my lifetime. You know, I've been collecting for 20 years. I'm 28 years old, but yeah, but I've never seen
How does that math work? Are you no?
Yes. Well, I started very early. My dad used to collect.
Got it.
He collects CDs, but he did collect records. But I mean, I think that there's some stuff that I'm very happy that they're reissuing, but I just want a little more meat, you know,
A little more sizzle. Yeah, I'm with you.
Imagine if Chad had like done like Tool's Anima, like that'll be like people will be fucking rolling right now on the street, like just people in.
Yeah.
I would love to see a lot
of Super Bowl victory. They'd be turning over cars. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
yeah,
Mr. Stark here points out, so the subscription thing for folks who aren't familiar with how they're trying to roll these out. So just talk about that for a second. The first, I think it's if you wanted to get numbers 1 through, so these are pre-numbered if you get in early, like David had said. numbers. If you want to get into that first to first, 0 to 100, you had to pay right away. There was certain criteria, right? There's 3 tiers. Now, if you were one of the early adopters with this quote unquote subscription model they're running, you get the same number of every edition. So every title is number 27 or whatever number you get. Likewise, there's a second option that I think, David, was it cheaper than the first option? I don't think so. I think the second option was technically cheaper, but you don't get 1 through 100. You get like 100 to 200. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if I'm going off.
100 to 250.
And and then if you want to do like David said, he's doing
Month to month.
as you go, right? Then you're in that third bucket of 250 to 500, all the same bells and whistles, free shipping. You get the number of titles. Every title is the same number, that sort of thing. So I appreciate the flexibility in what at least, because if you do the math, like it's like going to Olive Garden, I'll do the math. You have the Carbonara. If it's like almost $5,000 like that, and hey man, to each their own, you can jump in and go deep fishing like that, knock yourself out. But I think some folks who like me, like probably you guys too, that already have a lot of these titles, it's maybe not a jump right away kind of thing. You got to think about it. Like David said, you got to marinate on it. Didn't jump right away. Like the idea, all that sort of thing.
Isn't it funny that if some people start reselling these records, they just gonna know who sold them, because it's like, oh, you got
traceability, sure.
247, yeah.
Oh yeah.
George fucking selling the record.
Hey, Chad is a capitalist, so he won't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I guess. But my suggestion, you can do that with audiophiles, but what I've seen sometimes, it's like the first 300 are blue collar vinyl. I think that could have been something like a print or something like that. Could have worked a little more, because you're not getting anything more than a number. I don't know if it's just me, but just the number for $5,000.
I mean, is that much of a difference in the first 100 from the second 100?
Well, I guess it's the perception, right? Because it's obviously what the perception is that those are the first 100 pressed, right? So
that's not really even true.
And even then it's kind of hairy, because they're making these, and are they really? I think somebody even asked us on the Michael 45 stream today, is it a 1-for-1? Is it literally they're matching the jacket with the actual coming off the line? Yeah. I don't know if that question got touched, but the perception is that yes, those are the first 100. But like David kind of shook his hand. It's hard to measure that, right? So it's all about perceived value. It's that. Yeah. It's the numbering. It's the limited edition. Now, I'd be remiss. Now, Chad's a good salesman. I'm going to say that. They'd be remiss if you got bob and weave, because there are some of those kind of don't want to miss out, the FOMO. Like I heard him really pimping up the Phil Collins title today, which it may very well be the case. I'm not disputing some of the information they're throwing out there. However, a couple of cues I wanted to touch on. And one is, well, first of all, before we touch on a couple of these things, do you guys agree? Because, Chad kind of teased in previous conversations that this was the change your pants announcement, that you're going to have to wear a diaper. Cool announcement, but my diaper is still a little dry. I'm going to be honest. When I looked at the list,
yes,
I might have got a stiff pant for a second on a couple, like those Stone Temple Pilot albums. I got a stiff pant, but it didn't
short of Led Zeppelin, that would be diapers and Viagra. I mean, other than that, I just don't think anybody is satisfied anymore, to be honest.
No, it's a very high bar too. Like Jose said, like if he did Tool Enema, yes.
Yeah, there would it's like you're laughing at Phil Collins. Phil Collins is selling hot.
I guess
really.
Look, if I have a label, but it's not a medium or big label, it's a small label still.
Yeah.
If I had that kind of money, you know what I would do? It's like, all right, give me the 20 most expensive records on Discogs. Most of them might be easy to repress, because some are like, I don't know, old or whatever. They just never get touched. So my idea would be like, again, for example, the White Stripe thing, and then Hootie on the fucking Blowfish. if people are really interested in getting these audiophile treatments and talking, I'm not even a Tool fan, but wouldn't it be amazing if they pressed Anima and they could even charge extreme amounts of money? Because Tool really loves money. Any member of Tool is like craving for money as much as a bee craves pollen. I don't know if
All right, fat kid loves cake. Yeah, I'm with you, Jose. That's right.
but that would be amazing. I mean, because that would be like would be an interesting thing to see. For example, there's a label called Gerson. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah. They did the Farm record. They did Morgan's reissue. Yes.
They're reissuing some stuff that's like $2,000 worth on Discogs most of the time. Yeah. And that's amazing, because that's like a slap in the face to all those people filing those records, because they get to see that when they do release them, they don't go for as much money. They don't even reach the $100 thing. So it bursts the bubble a little, because it's like, if you actually want to listen to it, you can buy a good reissue of it. And if you want an original one, they might come down in price. You know what I mean?
There's like a lot of 90s stuff. Like Godsmack is one that's been on my list forever. And I know it's like Brandon has a copy of it, you know, in his collection, but it's like there's no reissues of it. This thing is very expensive. There's a lot of late, 90s, early 2000s. When is that stuff ever going to get repressed? You know, it's like this, it's so expensive and it's such limited runs. I would love to see that, but I also love what Jose says too about, and he got me thinking initially, it's easy to forget, putting these kinds of collections together for new people looking to build a collection. But then I'm thinking, it's like, is it a price point that's available to them? If we're worried about, well, the first 100 coming off the press is this much, and so then it kind of becomes cost prohibitive for new people. So it's like, who is the customer? And it really does seem like when you're talking about cost, it's probably going to be audiophiles. Mm-hmm. And so while, it would be great to put out a set of records like this for people that are just coming into the hobby and would like to subscribe and get these records in their collection. But is it a cost-effective way to do that for a new person? Do they care, that it's on colored vinyl, or that it's number 260 or whatever?
Sure.
No, but this is Analog Productions products are for a relatively narrow band of folks. Let's face it. And that's fine. And that's Jad's business model. And that's what he does. That's why he's not going after the kind of stuff Jose just talked about. He's not about knocking off the person or the people that have $1,000 copies of something. His is trying to provide the highest value and quality to those who are discriminating enough to pay the money and want it. And that's who he is. And like he said, somebody else wants to do the other stuff, go start a plant,
Yeah. Well, Matt here at Prime Analog Records raises a point, and I did, because we touched on this in the open about, Chad said that the timetable to get all these titles out is 3 years, right? Yeah. And if anyone's familiar, and I'm sure the folks in the gallery and even people listening can identify, if you've ever danced with Mobile Fidelity, right? I'm just going to call them out. I'm calling them to the carpet, because this Hotel California is a great example, right? Hotel California One Step finally came out. But David, as you talked about in a recent video, the pre-order was almost 2 years old.
November of 21. Yeah.
Right. They announced this. They announced several other titles, the Van Halen stuff. I mean, there's a litany of things. And again, I don't know what's going on. I know they're trying to build their own plant. There's a lot of, obviously, MoFi Gate, a lot of things going on. However, I think when Chad gives a timetable of 3 years, I would expect they'll probably go a little bit longer than that, just because, that's how things usually go. However, 3 years at the going rate, that's like nothing compared to Mobile Fidelity, because, I mean, they're just now, Jose's got the placard right there.
The Music Direct thing, yes. Wait, and
from years ago, years with a Z, years
that's
ago.
Like older than this one. But what I'm saying is, like, this hasn't been released. 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 And I think these two haven't been released.
Yeah, there's so on that page, Jose's flashing a page from their catalog, and you've got 12 titles. Yeah, this is their most recent. I believe it's the most recent catalog.
Yeah.
How many titles, Jose, have been released of the 12 that you just showed have actually come out?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so 30%, right?
Yes,
If I'm
if
doing
I'm not
or no,
mistaken.
25% of that list actually has come to market.
Yes.
Five.
Five.
Five?
Okay, five have. Okay.
5. Yep.
With which one?
Well, even Run DM, no, not the Run. Whitney came out, Still Bill came out, iRobot came out, Thriller came out, and
Oh yeah,
CSN.
this one. I saw
CSN.
photos of somebody.
Yeah,
with
it just came out. That just came out.
But
Yeah, but
point being is that
Yeah.
you know, when Chad says 3 years, like, yeah, that's not ideal. But even if, like he said today, that the goal is 2 a month, which I think he said, you know, some
See,
months it
that's
maybe
why
3.
that's why I like the monthly deal, because there's probably going to be months I'm going to have to pay nothing. There's not going to be shipping anything.
However, there's going to be months you're going to be paying 2 bills, David, or more. What if he throws you a curveball and here comes 5 titles? He did that on that Prestige series that he just reissued, because I pre-ordered.
Cool.
I pre-ordered all the titles, and all of a sudden 9 titles came at me at once. And it was cool when like 1 or 2s was coming out, and I'd get charged $40. But 9 at $40 a clip came at me real quick, and I, you know, fortunately I'm blessed, and it wasn't that big of a deal.
I'll just put my wife to work. It's no problem.
No, but you know, my other issue that I would say is that now I know a lot of titles, not all of them, of course, but I now know a lot of titles that are coming from here to 3 years. So I'm not as excited because I'm like, oh wow, in 3 years I'm gonna get a Velvet Underground. I don't know where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna live here. I don't know where I'm. You know,
You could be underground at that point. Actually,
Yes.
Do you want to wait 3 years? You'll probably find an original by then.
Yeah.
No, I do have an original of the Velvet Underground loaded.
See, my plan is that when I die, all this shit's going to keep showing up at my house. My wife's going to go, "What the hell's going on?"
Like the newspaper every day.
The ghost of Christmas past.
and God love her if she's got to cancel it, getting on the website and trying to figure out a cancellation situation. I mean,
God,
it could be a while.
Don't leave that on her.
I wonder how much this one's going to cost out of the blue, because that's a double album.
Oh boy.
That's going to be like 33, perhaps.
Making you big, David. Hold the phone. Let's throw that back up.
Yeah. Out of the Blue by ELO.
ELO, sure.
You know, I will say that I have friends that come to my house and look at this. And sometimes they're like,
Jose, you're entertaining your friends with the music direct catalog.
That's pornography.
It's way easier to get this than like open an actual book and start reading it, right?
Just have it on the copy table.
That's a commitment. You know, you don't want to get into commitments.
Hey,
but it's always interesting. But again, my problem sometimes, it's like I like it when I'm like surprised by a release, you know, and I just hope that guess I love when MoFi does 33 RPM records and they do them for less than $40. I get super excited. I'm like, wow, it's like I don't have to like worry about all these things, because sometimes you really like a record, but you know, it's like you don't want to marry the record. You just want to date it a little bit, get out.
But even the Whitney is $60 and it's one record.
Yep, but the Whitney record, I don't know if it's the best Whitney record. I'm not a Whitney expert.
Yeah.
But for example, the ELO, when they did the El Dorado thing, I think it was a little overkill. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. It's like, hey, look, I got the super vinyl here. Nice. Hey, I have the 33 one. Okay. Hey, I have the 45. You're just like standing alone, like waiting for somebody to take you out to dance, and that's not. I don't think that's fun, you know. So I don't know, but that's
so. David,
yeah,
I don't want to talk out of turn or anything like this, but you seem like you're closer to this than a lot. Is they got to press? This is going to sound terrible, but they got to press something. I mean, they got to put out albums consistently. I mean, they're in business. They got to make records. They got to make audiophile records. And so they're putting these things out, popular music, and audiophiles are like, you know, we talked about Phil Collins, you know, Whitney Houston. I love Whitney. I love the first album. They sound great. The originals sound great. And they were pressed in the millions. Same with Phil Collins. So there's only so much to go around. They got to press something. That sounds terrible to say, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, and I think you raise another good point, Jason, with the curation of these titles. And Chad didn't really talk too much about it. I think there was a little criticism on the stream about a lot of the titles are from the same artist. So the challenge was, where's the diversity of artists? Because I think some artists, like there was like 3 Ray Charles records, and certain artists, 2 Stone Temple albums, that kind of thing. And David, you know more about this than probably the rest of us about the licensing piece. I mean, I'm sure part of the consideration, even though you're working with the catalog and the label, is that there's a licensing element. Is he even hit on the Atco piece? Someone asked him about the Atco titles, right. And Chad was very transparent and said, yeah, we'd love to do AC/DC, can't. They license that arrangement, so there are things behind the scenes. To that point, Jason, I think that we'll probably never know. I think it's easy for us to kind of like Monday morning quarterback and say, man, why aren't they doing this? I mean, case in point,
of course.
And this is the one that, Chad is being very, very deliberate, very intentional about not dancing around. And that's the Led Zeppelin piece. I mean, people are, you know how like the internet goes. People are putting the clues together. They saw that on the website, there's only 70 titles announced. That means there's 5 unannounced. So people are, automatically trying to draw conclusions, it's very similar to how Vinyl Me Please, people are trying to guess the next releases, right?
Get some buzz going. Yep.
Yeah, get some buzz. But, again, the Led Zeppelin stuff. Yeah. And even Chad said it today, like he'd love to do it. Loves it. Loves the band, would love to do it. But there's so many hoops and so many, and then like Jose said at the beginning, conveniently enough, here comes the email from Atlantic themselves. Oh, here, part of the 75th anniversary. We're on clear vinyl. So some mixed messaging there too, because you would almost think, why would they do the 33 and then why would they do a 45 later? So
yeah, and of course they would want to press the most popular ones themselves because they can earn way more money. And
right, they're cutting out a little bit of
middleman. Yeah,
they're not going to license their best records and just get like scraps. That wouldn't even make sense because they probably they are getting all those records out to the world.
I agree with that. Well, I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think we can all agree that it's probably good. I mean, it's a good thing to have variety. I think, there's nothing wrong with that. And like you said, Jason, maybe it's not for you, but at least the option exists. And that's kind of where I'm at, because once he said the magic words today, Stone Temple analog, I got real excited, because my understanding to this point was that was probably digital. And Rhino's probably put out the best release of Core and Purple that I have. But when he said analog, I got a little excited. I'm not going to lie. That's where that pant got real stiff, because I'm like, wow, now we're talking. We're getting real excited. And even not my pants, because the singular of pants.
Diaper patrol.
Yeah, well, I don't have the depend. I want to be very clear. I'm not wearing the adult diapers, but I wear a pair of pants like anybody's business. And the singular of pants is pant. Look it up. But anyway, but even titles, Jose, you made a point about Matchbox 20. I'm guilty as charged. I like Matchbox 20. That title is a little more common out of their catalog. It was actually pressed on wax. They had a co-op with Lava Records in 1997 when that came out. Have that one. When they reissued a couple years ago on red vinyl, have that one. So now it gets into, well, I've already got several of these copies, but do I have the definitive copy? And then, and I give Chad credit on this, that live stream, when he started flexing those jackets, and you heard that. That's got to be one of a record collector's favorite sounds outside of the music is those jacket crack. It is like crack, because that's what I like, because I will pay up for a great stout and a great tip jacket, a great gloss, all that stuff. To me, that's value. Maybe it's perceived value. Oh, Jose, that's record porn right there. You're making those sounds.
There goes Chance's pants.
Yeah, you just filled my pant right there. That filled my pant more.
It obviously froze his screen too.
Fucked up my camera and everything, right?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good announcement. You be the judge if it was the fill your pant moment, the fill your diaper moment. But I appreciate the enthusiasm, and it definitely, I mean, literally people are talking about it, and I don't think that can be a bad thing. So, all right, business at hand. Let's get back to the regular scheduled programming here. Okay. We'll probably have time before we wrap up the podcast piece of this to at least tackle one of these topics, and that was something we were talking about, or I threw out at the beginning of the week. and that is Wishlist. And now Wishlist can mean a lot of things, so we're kind of opening it up. Oh, and then we've got a returning champion joining us late to the party. Better late than never. Here he is. Oh, and he comes guns blazing, coming in hot. Jason Rojas. He's got that Chalino Sanchez Vinyl Me Please record. Chalino coming at you.
Look at that baby.
Jose talked me into this, and I don't know what to say.
Yes, near the
you don't have a formed thought after listening to Chalino Sanchez?
Well, the thing is, I was like blaring it, and then I was like, let's face it, I'm not fluent in Spanish.
I don't understand a word this guy's saying.
Wait, there's no English on the album called 15 Exitos?
Exitos.
That's take exit 15 on I-35.
Well, here, Jose, help me out. I thought 15 in Spanish was quince. Am I wrong?
Quince.
Is 3 years?
Yeah, quince éxitos. Well, the name of our record is just quince éxitos, but it says 15 twice because it's just like that's how the person that did the design, but it's called quince éxitos.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, Jason, since you don't speak Spanish, Jose must have really sold you hard. Are you really trust his opinion to go get an album that's not even in your native tongue?
He told me that he was not going to get it, and he got it. So if he didn't like it, that's not my. You see this?
Oh, now we're having dual flex off here between Jason and Jose just pulled it right under his seat. He has.
This is a extremely hard record to get, and it's mint condition, still in shrink. And
look at the power pose. Is that Chalino with the power pose? Yes. One leg up. He's doing the Captain Morgan.
Yes, of course he is.
Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Talking about a good pair of pants. That is a good pair of pants right there.
Look at those boots. They're snake or whatever.
Looks like those twin brothers on Breaking Bad coming to kill you.
I'm just very happy that they reissue it. I'm getting that same record. Our friend Arnaldo, who's not here, helped me get connected with that record.
Oh,
but
nice.
I am happy, and I will say that it's interesting that I think next month they're also doing a Spanish for the essential ones, which is Acid. And I'm happy, but it's just a little stereotypical Latin music that they're putting out, but it's a start, I guess.
Well, Jose, VU Meter's got a good call out here. What do you think about this? The Fania Craft series are the best Latin remaster series.
Of course. Look, I show this on Rachel, but I'll show it again. This is one of my go-to if you want to start a fight with someone.
And what is this title, Jose? I don't want to butcher this.
My camera is horrible.
Oh, you froze it. It's too hot. It's melted the wires in your camera. There you go.
It's homenaje a Benny Moore. It's Celia Cruz y Tito Puente. Tito Puente, everybody here knows a Tito Puente song. It's the Santana song, Oye, ¿Cómo va?
Oh, sure.
Right? So then this is on Fania Records. This is the label.
This
is Fania.
You said people get in a fight when you play that record?
Yes. If you come into a house, you bring a
fist fight, a dance fight, like Beat It? Like what kind of fight are we talking about here?
You gouge someo's eye.
Ooh, like a fight to the death.
So you did not play this during the Rachel Ghost show this morning.
But
you're telling me you did not play it, and then suddenly
this is
gallery was like,
bottles are breaking, eyes are getting carved out. Yeah.
This is also, by the way, Cuban music, which is extremely different from Mexican music, and each country has very different type of music. So again, I don't call it Latin music. I just call it what it is. It's just Cuban music. But I'm very happy because the biggest label for like very common music, it's either Fania or Hermanos Fuentes, which is a Colombian label. It's pretty darn good. But and then, like, for example, Brazilian music like Caetano Veloso and all that, that's Philips. So it's not even like a weird label. But I'm happy that they're starting releasing stuff. I'm actually very happy they're doing that Acid one because it goes for like $150, like $100, $150 for a good clean copy. Would that be my choice? No, but I'm still happy.
Doesn't hurt that they're doing it, right? Well, I was going to move on to our next topic, but Jason, I'd be a terrible host. I'd be rude, and I don't want to be rude. But we got to rope you back in, fella. We got to rope you back in like the Lone Ranger in the lasso. We're going to pull you back in to talk about this Atlantic. And you and I have had a little private conversation on this. But what are your initial thoughts? And is this something that you think is good? It's bad. It moves you. It doesn't move you. What are your thoughts?
You can highlight Marius Stark. I kind of wrote like I did not participate in the pre-order. I did not do it. I did not.
You did not?
No. I looked at the titles. Well, the one above.
Hang on. This is on demand.
Marius did. Marius is like number 248 or something. I don't know, 252.
Oh, yeah, 258. He's got 258 and 303. It's a double flex. That's like this. He's coming out guns blazing. He is. Chad should send him a Christmas card if he's ordered 2 of those things.
Wow. I just couldn't do it. I saw the titles and I was like, well, that's interesting. And then $60. Okay, Lamb lies down on Broadway. Genesis, that's $120, right?
They're not even doing the best Genesis. That's my beef for them.
What?
Oh, you like the Phil Collins stuff, right?
It's the best Genesis.
I hate the Phil Collins stuff.
Come on. What? Then there ain't much left of Genesis that he's not doing then.
I mean, when he's on drums and not singing, that's my favorite. That's a good
Jose,
time.
is this the fight you're talking about? A fight over Genesis and Phil Collins? Are we about to see what it's bottles breaking?
I don't care anymore, okay?
David.
What's the theme song that he did? Did he do? It was not Lion King. Was Tarzan? Tarzan. Yeah.
You're still like in that my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jason, you're not going to bite on the apple. Are you just going to piecemeal? You're going to get titles.
Yeah. I'm just going to do it like, and kind of see it out, And like I told you, it was just because of the highs were rolled down, right? So I'm worried.
Of what? Of
Pretzel Logic.
One damn album.
No. Oh, here we go. This is the drama we've been waiting for. Hang on a second. We're going mano a mano. Here it is. Here we go. See you in a second. All right.
What other album?
And A Love Supreme. I compared them.
Oh, well, I don't buy Love Supreme. That's jazz.
And the highs were rolled down, So then I'm kind of like, well, you kind of lost me, and then whatever this announcement is, like I'm just going to see it like step.
I've read really good reviews on A Love Supreme. I don't know, so I don't know where your hearing's at, but that's okay. Maybe your hearing's too young, actually. Maybe
wow. It's getting hot in here, Nelly. It's getting hot in here. Boy. David is throwing it down.
So I compared the records. Like I have the original, I have the AP33, and I have that. UHQR. I compared them, and I think people would be okay. I agree with Marius Stark. Like people would be okay with that Acoustic Sounds 33. If you don't want to spend the money, then that's the best option. But if you want to go deeper, maybe and get 10-15% more than UHQR, right? But I still think, like hands down, the OG was the one, to get.
So looking at the list, Jason. Give me the 2 titles that are no-brainers that you're going to buy, or if you've maybe pre-ordered them already.
Okay, now I'm on the show, so let's go. You want me to be serious?
I'm trying.
I'm asking the panel if they. Jose, you have to be serious, or who are you texting?
It's not 8 a.m. It's 8 p.m. Okay, just so
what? Jose's calling the Federales because he can't believe that you and David went mano a mano like that.
Yes.
So I will get the link. That's no question, right? I will get Selling England by the pound. So like the Genesis, but out of curiosity, bonus round, third choice, I may get Matchbox 20.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Or the Hootie, just because JBL,
Frank,
he was like, fine. When are you going to do your comparison of Hootie? And I was like, oh man, how dare you? Like, how dare you,
So does that mean, am I reading the tea leaves, that you have an original Hootie and the Blowfish that you could do?
No. This would be that Kool-Aid challenge. I would do the comparison. Why not? He'll be fine.
That's wild. Hey, listen, I'm with you.
I can't wait to hear Darius say the word cry 62 times in high fidelity. That's what I'm waiting.
David, will it spur you to go out and throw the football with a Miami Dolphins jersey on repeatedly?
I don't think so. Not in Dallas.
Yeah. Well, the vinyl archivist, who was really taking some shots at me yesterday. I caught some of the morning live stream, and he was really taking some shots. But you know what? I don't discriminate, TVA. And he says the Yes album to him is a no-brainer.
Most of Genesis is going to be classic plates.
Wyoming Dave did me a real solid today. Maybe we'll get into that in the freestyle portion of the program. But I can't believe he says Matchbox 20, meh. Wyoming Dave, you better change that tank top and put on a coat, because that is a ice cold take. And I can't believe that I'm even hearing that from you. You want to doubt the song master, Rob Thomas? Right in his apex, right before that was when he was doing cocaine, and they were coming up from out of Florida, and they were partying, and then he met Santana. Come on now,
he played with Santana. Yeah, I mean, you know.
Come on now. Oh, TV, I'm just kidding with you. You know that.
I missed the speed round. What did you guys choose? So your top three? We can do it quick.
Well, we didn't really get into it, but hey, we got a little time. Let's crack this.
I embarrassed myself.
David, did you have the list? David, I know you were floating something earlier. Were you pulling up the list? I might have the list here. Let me see.
Of what?
Of the 75. Actually, here we go. We're going to do some show and tell.
It was in that MSN thing, yeah.
Yeah, hang on a second, boys. We got
it shows all the different labels.
All right, so maybe this is, you can't even see.
Oh, that's his stuff.
This is, you can see Phil Collins' face. So there's obviously one.
Use your control scrolly wheel to make it bigger.
Hang on.
Or control plus.
Oh, God. I'm on a Mac, David. Come on.
Oh, Command Plus. Command Plus.
Command Plus. Hang on. Oh, hell yeah. Way to go, Spins. You man, MVP of the live stream, my friend. All right. So we'll just go through here. We're just going to.
Oh, no.
Look at this. Jason Elwood. I'm so proud of you. Look at this. All right. So going through here and speak up, like I said, Stone Temple, they got my money on that. If I sit out the subscription, which I don't know, I'm kind of warming up to it.
You better decide quick. They're almost out.
Yeah, so we got this Mingus, the Yes, like TVA was talking about. There's Jose. There's your Velvet Underground. What are the titles that you think scarcity is going to take over? I know they were talking Phil Collins earlier, but if you were giving someone sitting this one out or on the fence, what are the titles you would recommend people go after?
How easy is it to find those Stone Temple Pilots for a good price? Have they been recently reissued?
Yeah, Rhino's done a nice job. Rhino first, the Core came out for Records Today a couple of years ago, and then Rhino kind of got a hold, and they did is it a 1 or 2 discer? For like a little mini box set. They've done the Stone Temple stuff like that, and it's pretty good quality. I mean, that's to me, up to this point, that's been the definitive copy. And it's about, if you get that box, it's about $70. So this is 60. It's right in that window.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. John seems like a popular, if I'm reading the tea leaves of people talking
that
about
Giant Steps might be good, because there's a lot of bad pressings of that record. So if this one is, decent.
Yeah, Amazon loves horrible pressings of Giant Steps. There's like 90 copies of Giant Steps, like blue color with a different cover.
Oh yeah.
So VU Meter says the John Prine will sell out. I could see that, because it's one of the best debut albums of a singer-songwriter that I can vouch for.
Yeah, the John Prine, maybe the Bad Company will sell out,
The self-titled? Okay.
Yeah.
The John Prine thing, I think I'm worn out, because there's a lot of pressings, and the Vinyl Me Please one's pretty good. I don't think
There it is, Jason Rojas.
I don't want to be a hater,
right there, Hootie and the Blowfish.
I don't want to be a hater, but I hate the Hootie and the Blowfish. Right.
Hey, listen, those guys you couldn't go anywhere, I think, in 1995 or 6 without hearing Hootie on every radio station. Soccer Moms, Hard Rock. I mean, they were all plugged into that Hootie. They were drinking from the Hootie Kool-Aid.
That's not a good reason.
I'm just saying facts.
Well, at least they're not bootying the blowfish. So
That'll be better. That'll be better, David.
I like those Buffalo Springfield, but I mean they're pretty available. I mean they're not that expensive.
Well, and I think that's the challenge, right? Is a lot of these titles are not.
My favorite things does appeal to me because I think that's within the range of like more normal titles of John Coltrane. I think that's one of the ones that I really like.
Jose, I think Acoustic Sounds already did this with
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, so I hear you, but yeah.
They didn't do the mono. Maybe they're doing the mono because I used to have a mono original of that, and it's pretty good. What I really hate about John Coltrane stuff, it's the stereo thing is that he was always panned to the hard left or the hard right. And the mono ones are really extremely better in my taste. So if they're welcome, if they're the mono, I haven't checked.
Now I do agree. I saw this in the gallery, and I apologize, I forgot who said it, but the Foreigner records for $60. This is hard because these are some of the most commonly available records, at least in my area. If it's not, I mean, literally every Foreigner title you can find in the $4 bin at my shops. So yeah, I'm sure that there's a fan base for it. I'm sure that Lou Graham fans, I'm sure they're out there. But 60 clams, that's a
But
tough
if you buy that, Chance, if you do buy that, it will feel like the first time.
You're hanging around with old Dave Bianco over here and these bad jokes. Come on now.
It's a training ground.
Yeah. Clearly, there's a mentor-mentee situation.
But like, there's enough Coltrane on here. What we could have done a Coltrane box
for real.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Does anybody really want Daylight Again by Crosby, Still, and Nash? For real. That is. I don't think it's such a bad record, but that's definitely no record I would pay $60. The Willie Nelson one, I would get.
Shotgun Willie, Vinyl Me Please just did this.
Yes, I know.
2 years ago.
I know, but you know what? That's a great record. And a friend of mine was telling me that Willie Nelson actually just released. There was only 2 titles that he did for Atlantic, so it's not like they could have done more. So I'm fine with those 2. And
I am, like I said earlier, I think it was John Bandy had made the comment on that live stream earlier about a lot of repetitive artists, and you're seeing it here as we're kind of perusing this list. There's multiple Foreigners, multiple Coltranes, like you talked about, Jason, Dr. John. So
Roberta Flack is pretty. I mean, I don't think it's a $60 record, but I do like it a lot. So
yeah,
if they make the fold out thing, that will be cool. They're not going to do it, but
Well, now we're getting into SACD, so I'm not even going to wade in those waters, but. Anyway, I think we've beat this topic to death, to be honest with you, dudes. So I think in summation, nice, glad it's happening. Spend your money how you want to spend it. No criticism, at least from me. But like anything else, David, you hit on the head earlier. Like, there's always going to be people who are just not satisfied. It doesn't matter if you could back up the Brinks truck and give $1 million, and they'd probably say, "Why'd you give me 20s?" You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's unfortunately the climate that we're in now, but I do think, again, we're having a good conversation on it. I think it's some good titles in there. Like, I don't know if I don't know. Like I told you earlier, David, the subscription thing I'm warming up to, but man, that's a commitment, and it's hard for me to commit, especially for 3 years. One thing on that Prestige series, like I said, I knew those were coming onesies and twosies, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, anyway, worse than a cell phone contract.
No kid, T-Mobile online too. Well, let's wrap up the podcast part of this. A good conversation on the Atlantic 75. We'll save our other topics for another show, but I want to thank my guests. We'll start with the man of the hour, the man on the inside, David Bianco, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. Thank you for joining us.
Everybody. Thanks.
We got Jason Rojas, showed up a little tardy. I'm sure we'll hear about it in a second. He's flexing.
Is that a gatefold, Jason?
No. It's called
okay.
cheap.
That's
I was worried about Chance, man. If you would have cracked that thing open.
Jason, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you here in a little bit in the freestyle. Jose Marino with no channel.
Frozen.
No third name.
Frozen.
Appreciate you showing up. And then new to the dais, hopefully will come back and join us again over at Spins Vinyl. It's with a Z, Spins Vinyl. Great new channel. Really doing some great things over there. Jason Elwood, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
All right, there's the podcast part, fellas. So Jason, we usually just like freestyle now. The first part we just kind of do for the podcast. That'll come out later, and then we just kind of talk about anything and everything.
Unfortunately, I mentioned to Chad that he should call this Vinyl Me Chad, but that didn't work out, I guess.
You did suggest that.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
That's when he started calling me Dave.
Hey, listen, just know I was watching that live stream, and when he called you Dave, I knew I didn't send you a message on it because I didn't want to trigger you. But I was like, hang on a second.
It's like when your mom calls you by your full name. Yeah.
Well, listen, I made that mistake because it's an easy one to make. It's like, oh, you're friendly with somebody. Hey, Dave, how's it going? But Dave was very clear. It's David.
I got news for you. Chad calls me whatever he wants.
Wow. Wow.
He's called me worse than that. So.
Wow. That's funny.
Well, as long as he said to say STFU, I guess it's okay.
Well, hey, we all have our different types of love languages. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
so Jason Rojas, I'm putting you on the spot. Is everything all right? You're a little tardy to the party. What's going on? Do we need to have an intervention? Were you at Breakaway Records a little too late? Was something going on at End of an Ear? What was going on down there?
No, I was just zoning out. I don't know. It was like a hard day at work, and maybe we should.
Wow, this totally blew it, boys. Did you hear that? We got totally this.
Somebody say intervention.
Priorities.
You need an intervention. Here you go.
Hurt my feelings. No.
Is that a Herb Alpert record? What was that?
No, that's
Joe Jackson, right?
Oh, all right. Joe Jackson.
Oh, my first 45, stepping out.
Yeah.
I like the 100% analog, so there's like no.
There's no confusion. Big bold letters. Boom.
Yeah.
Hey, don't feel bad, guys. I literally missed going to a doctor's appointment. About 2:00, my wife goes, "Weren't you supposed to go to a doctor at 12:40?" I'm like, "Oh crap." So.
Well, hey, listen. This Atlantic news, it's making people forget things. Forget doctor's appointments.
Yeah. I was watching
Jason Rojas out. It wore him out. He couldn't even muster up the strength, the testicular fortitude to join the live stream. But I'm glad he got a Gatorade, a couple IV injections. I do appreciate it.
Well, it's like, do you guys ever go shopping? You go to the record store and you're sort of like, I got to get something. I put gas in my car. I came down here. I spent an hour here, and it's like the least terrible thing you can find. You take it home, and it's just, you got to get something. And it's kind of like the same thing, right? You look at the catalog. It's all right. There's 75 records here. I need to buy some, and you just start looking at and then you're going to get it and be like, did I really need this Whitney Houston?
Yes,
exactly.
Jose, what are you looking for? You're very intense over there. What's going on?
I was answering messages because I was at work. I was at work, and then I was not, I guess. But
no, Jason, you raise a good point, because unless it's like one of my locals where I'm comfortable walking out with nothing just because I'm just in there so often. Like if I travel, great segue. If I travel and go to a new record store, like I'm a sucker. I want to get the store sticker. To me, that's very because
you got to get something for your time.
Yeah, I want to get something for my time, and so in conjunction with that, I'm going to get a record, right? I think that's fair. And so, it's happened to me a lot of times. I'll pick out just something just to get something like you're talking about. And I'll go up to the counter and I'll say, hey, do you guys have a store sticker? And wouldn't you know it, probably about 25% of the time, oh, yeah, we don't have a store sticker. Oh, yeah, we're in between pressing. So then now I've got a $15 record I wasn't even going to buy in the first place. I just wanted to support a local business. And they don't even have a store sticker. Come on, man.
I thought you were going to say they're like, yeah, I'll give you a sticker, but you got to buy something first.
Well, hey, listen, there are shops like that. Well, actually, it reminds me. Have you guys ever been to a shop that doesn't have prices on the record? I know I've talked to somebody recently about this. Was it you, Bianco? Yeah. I think you and I talked. I talked to somebody about this recently, where you go into a shop and it's almost like a bad video game store. You got to take it up to the counter before they tell you what it is so they can look it up rather than adjust their stock accordingly. They don't want to get caught on dead stock. They make you bring it to the counter and then tell you the price. Oh, I hate that. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a place like that, and one time I brought a record up, and the guy goes, "I don't want to sell that."
Whoa.
Yeah, and he took it back behind the counter. I'm
Oh.
like,
What
There's
was
there's this
what was the
story.
title?
Yelp review.
huh?
Negative Yelp review.
It was nothing. Yeah, right. Oh, I did.
What was the title, David? Was it something
I
that you
don't-
were?
No, it was no big deal. It was it was something that was sealed. I remember that it was sealed.
Oh,
And-
this actually, I think I know this store. So TVA says there was a famous store in
Bill's.
Dallas.
Oh
Bill's Music.
yeah.
Is that the one that
Yeah.
Josie absorbed, like when he passed
Yes,
away?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I
'Cause
mean, he literally died in his chair overnight. He slept in his chair at the place. They found him
What?
the next day, stiff, sitting in that same chair. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
somebody
if
came
you
in
go
the
into
morning.
Josie,
Yep.
yeah, if you go into Josie Dallas off LBJ Freeway, there's like a little section. They still have it. It
Right.
says Bill's Collection or Bill's
Yeah.
Store.
Right.
But I never knew the backstory. I mean, that's like a bad Stephen King movie.
Yeah, I went into that store, and as soon as I got out of that store, I went and took a shower. I mean, it was just awful.
Oh,
It was just
Wow.
crazy.
unbelievable. Uh-oh.
I mean,
Hang on, Eddie. Eddie, don't tell me this is. Are you flaking on Austin? We're starting to lose some of the Austin gathering.
Isn't there the Boris show? Isn't it the same day or something like that in Austin?
Yeah, that's like
I can't believe this.
What the hell's
No?
the Boris show?
Boris.
It's like a band, right, Boris?
Yes, Japanese band. Yes, nice.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a Japanese name.
Eddie, you were going to show me where the good tacos are. Now what I'm going to have to go to
Good tacos in the U.S.
Yeah, man.
That's not.
Listen, I told them how much I like. What's that? The taco place? Oh
This
shoot,
is Boris.
Diablo
Dude,
Tacos.
I'm so impressed. How come, Jose, everything is within arm's reach?
Oh, Jason,
Pulling
you're
these
about
records
to be
out.
amazed. This is a secret talent. That Jose, if you ever watch America's Got Talent, he couldn't take all the records, obviously, to do this in front of Simon Cowell or Heidi Klum. But boy, when he gets on a live stream, he is like, this is Mazzy 2.0. This is Mazzy 2.0.
He calls it whack-a-taco.
Yes, Torchy's. Eddie, you're going to force me to go to Torchy's unless I get your taco recommendation. Come on. I mean, I like Torchy's anyway. I'm going to go there anyway. But
This isn't going to surprise you guys, but I picked this record up just because I've wanted one for a long time.
Julie London?
Julie London. And
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how good this record sounds. This Mono Liberty. It just sounds unbelievable.
Those Liberty.
Oh my God. Wow.
Patrick, it's Eddie. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I think Eddie Perez is abandoning us. He's going to this Boris show and he's going to Los Angeles, even though I believe he lives in town. He just has to roll out of bed and join us.
I think he lives San Antonio, isn't it?
He's not in Austin proper. Jose,
No.
I heard some rumbling. You said, I think I'm going to Austin. I heard you on a stream this week saying, are you also having the Frosted Flakes moment?
No, I just have to see about the Airbnb. That's the only thing that I am missing. But I'm getting there.
Jose, there's couches in the hotels I've secured. So if worse comes to worse, I ain't afraid to put you up on one of these bad couches. Okay.
Well, I'll send you a message. I'll see.
I'm joining the fellowship. All right.
When are you going? Are you going like from like a day before
here's my itinerary, so all my stalkers can come and find me and try to like cut me up in the suitcase. I'm flying in Wednesday. I'm gonna do all record stores Thursday. Then I'm gonna go early bird Friday. Then I'm gonna go back again Saturday, and then I'm flying out late Saturday afternoon because I don't need that Sunday stuff. I don't mess with that. That's the stuff that vendors don't want to haul back, and it's been picked over. There's so much COVID on the records. I ain't gonna play like that.
Oh my!
Oh brother,
isn't that when you get the best deals?
It is.
You can, but as a traveler, what am I gonna do? I can't. I'm not gonna haul these big freights. If you're local, do it. Knock yourself out. I get it. My local record stores do, or record shows do it all the time. That's not me. I'm going to find the heat.
You probably get Phil Collins and Whitney Houston for like $2 each.
My thing is like I'm
Stefan,
hoping I get some good stuff, but I don't know how good it's gonna be, but I have high hopes, I guess. You know.
All right. Well, Jose, you haven't flaked on us yet. So again, don't let that Airbnb get in the way. We will find a place for you to stay. Don't be like Eddie and leave us at the altar. Eddie is leaving us at the altar on this one.
I'll send you a message. You know, my thing is like I don't mind like the bus and anything. It's just mostly like, yeah, it's just.
That's actually a good idea. I've done that before on travels. Is if you can find a shot.
I will do that. I will do that because you know, crossing the border.
This is the kind of encouragement I like. Beautiful, beautiful. Brett Michaels is going to be in Austin. Oh no, I have a restraining order. He's not allowed within 500 feet of me. It got real weird once, and we were in this hot tub at the gym. It was a really bad situation. So I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh. Here's mischief. I did not say I'm looking forward to the end. This is complete hyperbole and innuendo. I am not. I already have the NXS. Thank you very much. I don't need that title. Thank you very much.
Don't talk about Italian enemas that way.
Although I will say, I think Mobile Fidelity did do that kick title already with the silver label. I don't want to open up that can of worms. It's not bad, but I believe if I read, Chad's claiming that's from a copy tape, at least the one that they're going to be producing. So, because you know the silver label, not to trigger anyone here, the silver label was them being at least kind of deliberate in saying that not all of it was complete analog mastering chain. So there was some digital,
or they can't determine it, one of the two.
Wasn't it
right? Exactly. But for Chad, I mean, I looked at it earlier. It says on the product description page for Kick, tape copy. So yes, I may actually consider that now.
Wasn't the Stardust way Willie Nelson's analog and it's a silver one?
I want to say yes, but I'm not that familiar. I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's not only a tape copy; it's an EQ'd tape copy.
The Stardust.
Yeah, Stardust. TBA knows. I think he's talking about the NXS, but Jose, Jason, I told you. Look at this. This man literally has records.
I mean, I don't know how. All right, well, let's just start calling out albums. Let's see if he can pull them out.
Isn't it a great photo of Willie like with a hat?
To all the weed,
looking like Willy Wonka.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mr. Willie. To be honest with you, we got room on the dais for one more if anyone wants to join. But so what kind of stuff have we been picking up? Obviously, Jason showed off the Chelino. I actually passed on that. Jose's influence did not work me over. I have not bought any Rodney Dangerfield. Jose, listen, I'm going to be honest. I have not bought one Rodney Dangerfield record, and I've not bought that Chelino. So I'm holding strong. Keep coming after me.
Other than Chelino, I did get this.
Oh, you got that?
Nice.
And this does not sound good. I don't know.
I'm not. I don't trust Jason's review of that Stooges, and I'll tell you why. Because I think he told me that he preferred the Bowie mix, and that's a horrible mix. So that's why I'm glad that they did the Iggy Pop mix.
Well, welcome to the stage, the one and the only, the TVA.
Patrick, you're a Stooges fan also. What do you think of the Iggy versus the Bowie mix? Please. Well, we can't hear you.
I think he's on the mute, but
Maybe.
I agree with that.
Hey, oh wow, that's
Patrick. Where are you?
That's an interesting take, Patrick.
Testing 1 2. There we go.
There we go. Attaboy. We've got touchdown. Dallas.
Technology is such a problem. So which mix did y'all think I said?
I think you said the Iggy Pop one.
I did say the Iggy Pop one.
Yeah. So Jason, you're probably one of the only people that I've ever met that tell me that the Bowie one. I know that the original ones are it's like, oh look, I have an original. It has the hype sticker. But I'm a huge Stooges fan, and I think that both of them sound like shit. But the Bowie mix, that's my take.
Okay.
The lesser of two.
Whoever's having these panels just Even Ron Ashton said the 97 Iggy Pop mix will make you miss the Bowie mix, right? He even
No. I think, have you ever heard the John Cale version of the first record? That they also came out on Vinyl Me Please?
Yeah, that one does not sound good.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. And the original one's pretty good. But in this case, I think that the Iggy Pop just sounds better, I guess. I don't know.
You know, Chance, can you put up Chauncey Phillips's latest comment?
Hang on, I want to address this one, Jason. Then we'll throw this up. Chauncey Phillips has been nothing but degrading the stream since I started it today. Constantly under attack. He says, Stefan, our new friend Stefan is joining us from South Africa, and he says, Stefan, this stream will have you back to sleep in no time. That is.
I think Chauncey is related to Rob Walker somehow.
Well, yeah, they must have been in the same adoption agency. I don't know if they have the same parent, but let's go ahead and pull this up. Is this the one, Jason? Is this the one you're asking for?
So, I mean, even Jose said it. Both are just bad. You know, I don't know.
I also want to address one other thing. I'm getting a lot of heat for this. I got this one earlier. I'm still trying to figure out the new dynamics of my room. So, no, I am not streaming from a mobile pod unit. Who else also had a comment?
How about a psychiatric hold? Are you in a psychiatric hold right now?
The nicest guys also took a shot at me and said, "What's closet, man?" So, come on, guys, know better, do better. Give me some time.
I'm gonna get this place going. Hold. You look like you're in a padded cell. Is what it looks like.
Well, you know, maybe I am, Patrick. Maybe after all the verbal assault I've taken lately from you, I heard the stream. Listen, guys. Yes. I was watching that stream yesterday. I'm coming after you. And somebody made a comment about my latest interview, and they said that I make people cry. And your comment, I'm going to paraphrase. I even have the timestamp. You said, "Well, I guess that's what happens when you talk to Chance." Yes.
I vaguely remember saying that. Yes. Hey, you got to admit that. When an opportunity like that comes around, you have to take it.
I understand. Game recognizes game, sir. So I appreciate that.
You know, I mean, come on. You know, if you want to make fun of yacht rock and stuff, I'm fine with that.
No, hey, listen. You've heard. I've come on. I haven't been on screen, but I'm in the gallery. When you do yacht rock, I think you've done 3 of them now. The last one was so controversial, it got shut down. It was so hot. It was red hot. Michael McDonald. Fever engulfed YouTube. They had to shut that shit down, like Negan likes to say.
That guy has a sweet voice. That's all I want to say.
He does have a sweet voice. Yeah,
a beautiful man.
I think Christopher Cross shut you down, actually.
You know, it's actually not a certain song that sets you down. It's like the time, and if you play X amount of songs, you know, that flag the algorithm, and then you know, so because I can play like on Fridays, if I play obscure punk and shit like that, I can go 4 or 5 hours. And if you have somebody loud like Bobby Gass talking, then it really confuses them. You know,
Bobby Gass is a licensed camouflage.
He is.
I like when Bobby Gass just like smokes on the stream.
He smokes a lot.
I don't care what the fuck they're saying.
John Bandy, your ears must have been burning because we were talking about you earlier that you're dissatisfied with the selection of the Atlantic 75. So we
don't even go there, Jason. Come on, Jason.
We were just pulling that as a reference. Well, Jason, you're shaking your head. Are we going to have to go mano a mano with John Bandy? Come on now.
Well, John Bandy, I have to say, John, if you're out there, you were like throwing the fire. Like in that peanut gallery, like you know, I was wondering if like Chad was like looking at that and going,
"It's fucking John Bandy." It's probably what he was saying.
Jason, but what about like the jacket? Does it look fine for the raw power? Because I'm curious, because even the pictures on the original copies look like crap.
No, it's fine. This is very
Is
nice.
it matte finish jacket?
Very nice, very nice. You know what? Jose Moreno, when you come to the Austin Record Show, we will do a shootout.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, man, please stream that.
All right. I have the UK and the US, so we will.
I just want to clarify to anybody that cares while my screen is frozen.
Jose, I gotta cut you off again. Hang on a second.
Reach.
These jackals will not leave me alone. We got Tim, again, a nice guy, one of the nicest guys in the vinyl community. University of Vinyl, great channel. Check it out. Except when he's throwing bombs at me like this. Chance, are you planning any room treatments for your new bomb shelter? Man, I expect it from this guy. This guy. I'm not doing a shot-for-shot remake of the Jamiroquai video. I expect it from this guy. University of Vinyl. I don't expect.
Have you seen Barbarian? Have you seen that movie, Barbarian?
Barbarella?
No, Barbarian, the movie from
Barbarella. Where?
No one saw Barbarian. That's a good
Conan.
Barbarian. It's a horror movie.
You mean like with Ernie Ladd?
Dustin Long. Wait,
Ernie the big cat. Yes.
Dustin Long is in that movie. That's pretty normal movie. But it looks like you're streaming from one of those rooms in that movie.
Listen, guys, I'm settling in. They call it settling in. If you saw where my records are, I've got two stacks, or stacked one on top of each other, and it is that if I would film from there, you guys would make fun of me even more. So
they don't allow records in the YMCA.
Hey, listen, they give you free towels, Patrick. I mean, how could I turn that down? Come on.
I just want to say that because I know I've showed this record a lot of times, but since we're on the Stooges subject, I will say that till this day I haven't heard a better version of Funhouse than this Canadian pressing, which I have here.
You always bring this up.
Yeah, but we're actually talking about Stooges. We're actually talking about Stooges, you know.
Oh, this is the big bootlegs, Naz. Oh,
and I'm not even showing it because look, my camera's all frozen, so I'm not even showing it.
I can't believe it.
I'm going to go to
the representative from Santa Monica says, if I come to LA, I will be comfortable in one of the many sidewalk condos. Is this like the mole people? Is this a reference to the mole people living under the streets? I'm not sure. I don't speak LA that well.
You get your own cardboard box, actually.
Oh, that's delightful. Absolutely. Delightful. Well, Jason, do you subscribe to Vinyl Me Please? I didn't think you did.
He did.
Yeah, I am.
No,
okay. So how would you rate your experience with Vinyl Me Please? I'm making you big. I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, it does make me feel like the the Columbia House Record Club, except I know that's what it feels like. If I didn't get like two for
except
a
it's
penny.
not a penny.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a penny. It's more like, it's like $50 sometimes. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been some interesting titles, but sometimes I don't agree with it. So then I just take the credit, right? And then something will come, and then I'll spend that, on that record, But they have released some interesting records. Let me see if I can pull one out.
Sure.
I actually thought that the VMP reissue actually beat the original. Let me go pull it out. So say hello to your little friend, right?
Oh, David, we've got you in the perfect location, right next to your BFF. There he is. Where did that face come from? He had to be really animated. So Patrick, to answer your question earlier, you're still in Austin. Obviously, yes. Rojas will be there. Is Malaya still coming?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. So I think Eddie and then Jose was kind of getting a little flaky. We talked him off the ledge. He said,
"Is Louis coming? Is Louis coming?"
Louis should be. Last time I talked to him, I even asked him if he could corral Fred Putterman because I think they live kind of in that same area. And then
David coming? David, are you coming, David?
Yep.
So excellent. Who else is a Dallas? Oh, what about Jazz Bum Chris?
The invite's out there. I haven't talked to him directly about it, and I even threw an invite to Felipe if he wanted to fly in. So who knows?
Brad Vinyl will be there.
I know a couple of guys in Houston that come to the auctions and stuff. I'll ask.
They're gonna be there.
So I don't know. I need to reach out to them.
Cool. I'm assuming you're doing Early Bird Friday, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be the Early Bird Friday, and I'm probably not leaving till Monday actually.
Whoa!
Wow,
that's a commitment.
Party time with Patrick.
Doing the deep
I have a good friend in Austin that I'm going to be staying with. So Rick Del Castillo is in the band Del Castillo. So
nice. All right, Jason, what was this record you went and pulled?
So the VMP of this, I don't know.
Yeah, Eddie Davis. Yeah.
Oh my!
How does that stand up to the OG?
Compared to the OG, here's the OG. This was good.
Which one's better?
I thought the VMP is better by 10-15%.
So who
Wow.
cut that one? Was it Kevin Gray or was it Brian K.
No, I don't think it. No, I don't think it actually says Patrick, which I found very surprising. There is no initials on the dead wax, nothing at all. It is Gray.
Is it Kevin Gray?
Wow.
Oh, Jose, that was
We're
cute.
going to use
How many of her
it.
titles did they do, Jason? Did they do Nasty Gal or any of the other ones?
I don't think so. Well,
I think that's the only one they did, honestly.
but I also think like this is just a numbered, Vinyl Me Please from Light in the Attic. That's all. So
I really like the meter stuff they did. The Vinyl Me Please stuff.
Remastered by Elysian Masters.
this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it wasn't bad actually. Like I said, 10-15% good.
Although I did order the jackpot
Cooley.
meters reissues.
Dave Cooley remastered it.
Oh, okay.
Patrick, did you say you ordered those meters reissues?
Yeah, I did that, and I got the Booker T box set too.
So there was a certain YouTube influencer on the dais now who was really promoting those hard. He lives in Austin, Texas, and he said that they were good copies. I haven't converted though. I'm not trying.
He was a meter beater, actually, is what I heard.
Oh my.
My computer's working better now.
Wow, David, don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses at the Holiday Inn in
Oh no.
Stonefield, Texas. I don't know where that is. Holy
He's
shit.
here all week. Eat the veal.
Yeah.
No, but so Jason, are you a month by month member or do you do the full year? What's your usual membership profile?
I'm doing just 3 months, and then if I don't like the titles, I'm at the point where like I didn't see any like future titles, so I may just stop.
Have they announced which ones are coming? Not the
Jose,
Rock
did you change rooms? Sorry to cut you off. Where are you now?
I'm in another room, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
But have they announced like what else is coming out? Because I know the Rock one is System of a Down, and then some record that I really don't want, and then a record I really don't want by CC Top. I don't want that. But have they announced for the other
No.
things? No, right? But if you Google Vinyl Me Please November or whatever, it does show a link, but when you click it, it doesn't come out with anything. But you can read the disc record, the one that I already mentioned like 100 times. It's coming. It's this one, the Acid by Reissue, which is a pretty good record. Fania Records. Fania.
What track are they putting that under? Because they have the different lanes. They have rock, they have country, they have essentials.
I think it was classics or essentials. One of those.
Oh, classics. Okay, all right.
Yeah, because definitely rock. So it's rock. Will be a System of a Down, which I used to like System of a Down, but I don't know if I want it right now. Especially Toxicity. Like if it was the first one, I think it'll be like let's remember the good old days. But Toxicity, I just overplayed it. I don't know if I would even listen to it. Not that I don't like it. I just, I don't want that anymore.
Well, here's why I'm asking some Vinyl Me Please questions. Is anybody else on the dais into Vinyl Me Please? Dipping in? No. Here's why I bring it up, Jason, because have you bought a few of them, Jason?
Yeah, I think that's the Miles kind of blue. I think I have is they put out it's put up by Vinyl. I think Vinyl Me Please did a copy of that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Not sure.
Was it Vinyl Me Please? Maybe I got it mixed up with something else.
Yeah, have a box set coming out.
Yeah, they have a box set coming out. I do know that.
Okay.
But, well, here's the reason I bring it up, guys, because they had that promotion. I think they're still trying to do it for the different tiers. If you prepay 3 months, 6 a year, you get free records. So Arnaldo and I talked about this. We both did the 1 year. I'd never done the 1 year before, but they 8 free records. Why not? So I had a lot of apprehension for a couple of reasons. One, they sent me the shipping. I've talked about this on our streams before. The shipping mailers they use are trash. They've been trash for a while. It's one of the prohibitive pieces of the membership. But I was really concerned if they're going to ship me 8 at once, how they'd ship them. And 2, the selection, because if you're already a member, you're already getting a lot of the titles you already want anyway. So then to pick 8 more above that or 4 more, or whatever your membership tier is, I waited. I didn't throw my chips into the ring until recently. But I'm happy to report, as I told Arnaldo, They shipped them, and they shipped them in a weird box, and they put bubble wrap all over them. No seam splits, no dings. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe somebody from Vinyl Me Please drove them by their personal car to my residence, because I wouldn't have bet David's money.
What titles
I would have received damage-free product from Vinyl Me Please, but everything I got came in. So that's not an endorsement. This is an affiliate situation. I'm just saying that I couldn't believe my luck that they actually shipped 8. Actually, it was 9, because I had another record in there. 9 records without damage. I couldn't believe it.
What records did you got for free?
Let's see.
Do you remember?
Lawrence,
off the top, I got the Alicia Keys Fire record. I got. I think they had a Coltrane. I'd have to look at my list over there, to be honest with you, because they're downstairs. But
you know, I did look for a friend of mine has the Vinyl Me Please here, and if I want a record, he sometimes helps me, unless it's like the same record he wants, like the Chalino record he really wanted, so I couldn't, get it. But he showed me, and it's interesting because it's not like all the records; it's like some records, right, that you could choose for the freebies. I think the 3 months is 1 free record.
Yes, that's
the 6 months. I think it's 2 or 3 records.
I think it's 1, 3, and then 8. I think that was the breakdown.
I mean, 8 sounds amazing, but yeah, 6 months in advance, and
that's a lot.
They have been like very few titles that are like for the month, but there's some great titles that they come out like normal, regular, like anybody can get them. But for the month thing, I'm struggling to think for more than 5 records that I really would like.
And that's where I was, Jose, because like, and part of it is I wanted to have, because I know a lot of people, pardon my French, blow their load right off the gate and get their free records and gobble up the inventory. So I was patient, and Arnaldo and I talked about this. We were playing the long game, but here we are. It's coming up on almost a year. I needed to use these. So finally, they had some titles. Let me show these real quick.
And again, I don't know why they haven't done a specific jazz one, because they have a lot of jazz now, and I don't know why they don't do it. Because
I wonder who cut that jailbreak, and is it all analog?
Oh, that's Waylon Jennings. My friend that has the subscription here really loves Waylon Jennings.
So
in fairness,
for big bucks now.
Oh yeah. So in fairness, these are a lot of, like, I'd heard some good feedback. Like you said, Patrick, this one's all analog. So I was like, why not? I think this is one of their few Coltrane offerings they have. I think Mazzy, if you're still here, I think Mazzy got this one or spoke about this one, this Marty Stewart one. So I tried some of these other ones. I did take a flyer on. I think Arnaldo said this was a good one, this Monk piece. This one I already had the original, but why not? And I think I'm sorry to report that this Usher 25th anniversary is the clean version, which I thought was really stupid, but
how many bad words does Usher says?
Oh, that's that's a great point, Jose. I would have never thought that there would be a clean version.
He probably says like
damn. He says damn.
He says like damn. Yeah, he says damn quite a lot.
Yeah.
So is that Waylon Jennings part of the Waylon Jennings box set?
I don't know that for a fact. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not 100% sure on it. Now, Jose, you bring an interesting thing, because I just ordered this Headhunters. I already have an original of it, but I think we might talked about this last stream too. I think they broke the box up because this was only available from VMP in that Herbie Hancock box. So they threw this copy in there. As just like
how much did that Headhunters cost?
Oh, $36.
Isn't there like a Tone Poet or a classic of Headhunters? Isn't there?
No, there's a analog.
Chad did one. I know that. Like Acoustic Sounds did do one, but yeah, I don't know if anyone else has touched it. But
and it's a 45, I think. It's not a 33, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's definitely more than $37.
Yes, but you know what? I think I've heard that Herbie Hancock and
but the member price is 36. Like, I'm very clear. Like I know I paid 36 for it because they put it in. They do this thing called Throwback Thursdays where they pull, I guess, dead stock or some of their damaged stock that they keep in case of damages, and then they just throw it in there. But like I said before, you couldn't buy this as a one-off. It only had to be in that box. They were using exclusivity as I like call to action to buy the box. But for whatever reason, it was available. I pulled the trigger and.
I'm gonna get jazz shamed for saying that Blue Note did a did a album. So
No, you're not gonna.
Oh, we got some jazz assailants coming at you, Patrick. We're not going to.
Oh yeah, they're hard and heavy on that.
Here he
shit.
is. Oh yeah, here comes the assassin general, Joe Marino. He's coming at you.
My problem with the box sets in general is that some are fairly justifiable for the price, but some are really bizarrely priced, at least for me. Because, for example, that we've talked about this before, but the Grateful Dead one.
Yes.
How many records are there? Like 10, and there's like $400, $450, and that's a little pricey. I mean, the Miles Davis sounds great for the price, especially or analog. Who knows how they're gonna come out? I think that's gonna be very popular. But for example, one of my greatest ones that I regret, even they like put up some more copies like 2 months ago, was the Sparkle Horse box set, which I think you have a chance, or Arnaldo
has it. Arnaldo has it. Yeah.
And I think the cheapest one right now, it's $800 on Discogs, which I don't think they're gonna get, because I think like the most expensive one they sold was like $600. But that one was bizarre because it's not an audiophile record at all. But they had 2 of those records cut at 45 RPM, which is strange, I guess. But that's one of those artists that most of their catalog is right now like more than $100, like Ween, I guess. But so I don't know, like $450 for like less than 10 records. I can't justify that.
Chad starts at 60. Chad starts at $60 a pop for his records.
Yes, but you can buy them individually, and I think that's great. But getting a box for like, for example, that Bill Evans box set. There's some records I really like, but
10 albums for $450 isn't that bad. I mean,
no. But you have to really like them all or not have them all. Because if not, it's not an audiophile record. So it's.
That Ornette Coleman was like $300. There's only like 7 records in it, and they suck. So.
I like Ornette.
Patrick, the jazz people are really going to come at you.
I mean, that's the only box set that I have that the value is tanked more than anything because it's just not that good.
No, wasn't there a Vinyl Me Please box set that had the Sinatra at the Sands, which is pretty good, but they also had the Oz. Which box set was that? I can't remember. The Oz, the movie, the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz box set. Jose, what kind of mushrooms are you doing down there?
I don't know about this.
He moved into the mushroom room, apparently.
No, where he lives, it's peyote, not mushrooms, dude.
Yeah, what kind of peyote they got you going down there, Jose? A Wizard of Oz box set? I'm not familiar.
No, Wizard of Oz. What is it? Somebody's gonna tell me what it is. But there was a box and it contained like a lot of records, and one of them was the Sinatra.
Somebody said it was Quincy Jones.
A lot of records. Okay.
Look, somebody said it was the Quincy box.
Quincy Jones.
Oh, there you go. Okay, not the Wizard. Quincy Jones.
Where did you get Wizard of Oz? Where'd you get Wizard of Oz from Quincy Jones?
Oh, it's the Wiz. The
Wiz. Yeah, there you go with Michael Jackson. Yeah.
And who wants a $60 record of the Wiz? That's like a no-go for me.
No one.
The reason to get that Grateful Dead box is to get Without a Net, which is just so hard to get. And I did a video on it comparing it with all my originals, and it's basically the same. You can go get all originals for the same price. So it's like, take your pick. Do you want these reissues on colored vinyl, or go get originals?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's a slip mat. There's a slip mat in that Grateful Dead box set that has the bears, and when you spin it, it dances. So isn't that a value add? Isn't that a value add? I mean,
how often do you use that?
Never, because it just sits in the box with the rest of the records. I've re-sleeved them. I've listened to them on occasion.
You were talking about Vinyl Me Please shipping. This is a UHQR.
Patrick, I'm so glad you're bringing this up. This is great.
See that sucker? And there's one on the other album too. This is not an anomaly. Okay.
No, it happened to me too. LP1. Pardon my French. Got fucked, and I am not happy about it.
What's your number?
Wait, you gotta.
It's not mine. Someone gave it to me for a comparison, which I just finished, by the way. I think it's like 225, something around.
Well, Patrick, before I get into the seam split stuff, because I am not happy about that. What did you think of it? Because I know David's a fan. I know Jason's a fan. I've only listened to my
so,
LP1. I like it so far.
Here it comes.
All right, so here we go. So I had the original Columbia Santa Maria done by Lee Holka, the UHQR, obviously, the DCC, and the Kevin Gray 2009. I think those are the 4 that I chose. I didn't do the box, the Bernie Grundman box, because I don't think that was really in the running. So out of those 4, it's interesting because it depends on the song. On a song-by-song basis, the more powerful, loud, rock and roll songs, the DCC is far and away better than everything else.
Is the DCC the expensive one?
Yeah, it's real expensive. But if you want to get something inexpensive, the original Columbia Santa Maria for the softer songs is very good. But for the more rocking songs, it sounds a little bit more muted. That's the MoFi excels at the softer songs, and to me doesn't excel so well in the harder.
But wouldn't
you songs?
If a copy that's going for more than $500 is better than one for $150, I think that's still a good deal. Wouldn't you say?
Well, if you're willing to pay $150 for a record, I think you're pretty much willing to pay $400 or $350 for a DCC. If you're going to pay $150 for Hotel California, you'll pay $350 for a DCC.
I would never justify a copy of Hotel California being worth.
Okay, on this day and time, mark this. I don't want to ever see anybody on this panel. Yes. I'm looking at you, Jason. I'm looking at you, David. Ever show a DCC of Hotel California?
A DCC?
Yeah.
I saw that some people were talking about. Is there anything particular that you can?
Now the Kevin Gray is very good too. So the Kevin Gray kind of
for the money,
right in the middle.
That's a balance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jason, now hang on a second. I'm going to interrupt you because Jason.
Let me go get him. I'm tired.
Yeah, go get it. So Jason, Jason said, I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it. No spoilers. So when Jason's getting that, I want to comment on the seam split.
Is he going to argue with me and David? Is that what he's going to do?
He's going to try. I'm going to give you guys.
I'm going to send him this. I'm going to send him a T-shirt that says "This is only my opinion."
I have not done a deep dive on this. I did a very brief thing. So, but they're all level match. So go ahead. What is Jason's opinion? I'm curious. So.
Well, Chad, just real quick. I'm sorry. I got to jump. Chance.
Yeah, dude, no worries.
I really appreciate you guys having me on. Great to meet you all. Let's do it again. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you guys.
Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Then Chad some furniture if you can. So, yeah.
Bastard.
Wow.
No, but now hang on, Jason Rojas. Before you show this, I want to touch on these damn split seams. These one-step seam splits, because I saw Harry. If Harry's still here, Harry was the first to put a video. Because David, you didn't have any seam splits on yours, did you? No, okay, so you got lucky. You should have bought a lottery ticket that day.
Yeah, right.
Harry had both his were seam split. Arnaldo, somehow he should have bought a lottery ticket. He sent me and he couldn't believe it. He's like, I got my one step, no seam splits. So I opened mine, and Patrick, wouldn't you know, son of a biscuit, LP1 split. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And here, I got one to top you. My box is bowed. So, I mean, give me
bow job.
Absolute trash. Okay, Rojas, did you have seam split here?
No.
No,
man.
No.
Well,
he probably had it hand delivered from frickin'
Fidelity
itself.
He got a promo.
He came over and he's like, "Do you want to do a shootout with us?"
My special courier,
Melinda
delivered
that.
Stagecoach.
Melinda delivered that to him.
I delivered the Van Halen.
I have my for a long time I kept my copy of Still Crazy After All These Years, the
Paul Simon?
Yeah, Paul Simon, One Step, for like months, because I was going to open it when I was going to listen to it, and when I opened it, they both have seam splits. So I was really saddened by that. So,
open your records early.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
Open your records as soon as you get them.
If you take anything from this broadcast, open your records. Don't let them sit. Don't speculate.
Besides what Jason's about to tell us and school us on Hotel California.
All right, hang on a second. Jose, let these guys breathe, because it's going to get hot and steamy in here. So I'm going to take us off for a second. Here it comes. Jason, hit him with the sauce. What do you think about the Kevin Gray cut?
No, you guys have to check your ears. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Like, honestly, this Kevin Gray is just as murky as the original. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I have a promo. This is crazy. I have a promo. This MoFi beat them. I don't understand. Like,
No, I said the MoFi beat him.
okay.
I absolutely said that.
Okay.
But the Kevin Gray I found very balanced, and it was good. It seemed good for $30 at the time.
No,
you know.
to me, this thing shows you why Kevin Gray is one of the most overhyped mastering engineers today.
I think you got a bad copy.
Oh my gosh. But Patrick, I will get the DCC. I'm very curious.
So hang on a second. So if I may use some visual aids here. Let me see if I can pull this off, if you'll allow me to.
Sure.
Sure.
Window. There we go. This one. So if we can share, if you could add this, first chance.
You can't. You should be able to do it.
You should be able to add it. Yeah. Okay, here it comes.
Let's see.
Okay, so this is Hotel California, the song, right? So these are the four. I'm not gonna say which one's which, but you can tell the difference in how things are as we go from one to the other. There's a different, and then this one right here. Look at the difference between this and that.
Yeah.
See that? I'm not going to say which is which, but you know there's discrepancies all along the board. The different, so there are differences between these. And I'm not a graph person or a spectrograph person.
I guess.
You know, I'm more into, like, you know, I mean, but there are some things you can learn, you know, as far as like saying, okay, there are differences. So
and I guess
there have been some,
based on
There's always differences.
Can I guess based on the graphs, because they do look interesting? Because I see when it's like very quiet, there is some different peaks, and I don't know if that's a click or a pop, but it does.
No, there's no clicks and pops anywhere on these, so there's none whatsoever.
Yeah, I'll still clean my one steps very much when I.
Me too. I clean everything very.
Yeah,
they are not as dirty as the UHQRs that I've gotten, but they are dirty.
Yeah.
And what's bad is when you get a dirty record inside a MoFi inner sleeve.
Seattle homeboy coming in hot. Let's go.
Is that a new room as well? It's the new room.
The same room. It's just a different. I'm sitting in my
different angle.
I don't usually sit in my sweet spot when I'm doing this kind of stuff.
I missed the John Lennon of the real estate.
That's over there.
Oh, all right.
I don't think the original hotel is murky at all. What are you guys talking about?
We'll compare it when we go to our novels. You'll see.
What's your original? What's your OG? Is it the Columbia Santa Maria, the Leholka, all that good crap?
You know, I don't even know. I don't have the any other version. So
is it the 7E or the 6E? The 7E is the earlier one, as you know. So
yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but yeah.
I'm not going to go get it now. So
I like that Massey is the opposite of me when it comes through like records you own.
Oh shit! All right.
No, you don't have to go get it. That's why I'm in another room, so people don't tell me that
it's downstairs. It's in the dungeon.
All right.
Where all good Eagles albums belong, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? I didn't.
I have all originals and promos of some. It might be. Let me see. Is it a promo? It's a. No, this one's not a promo. I have promos of the first like 3 Eagle records that I got.
Are they promos because they're a white label? Because they originally came out on white labels.
White labels.
Yeah. No, they're promos. They're white label. They're promo copies that I got from Electra Records reps back.
Some people.
These albums came out when I worked in record stores. So,
what are the first 3 on the border?
Desperado on the white one on the border, and the first self-titled with these. The first one opens up. The first pressing, it folds out like a poster. The cover.
Yes, it's a pretty lame poster. I've got like 3 copies of it.
Well, it's a bad cover because that's the concept. So, this is not a promo, but this. What am I looking for?
You're looking for a CSM.
Yeah, an LH.
Yeah. Can I see the poster? I've never seen the poster. What is it?
That's on the other album. Fuck, I'm not going down again. Shut up.
Nick, if you're out there, $3.
That was Nick's coming in $3. You're right. This is a new segment we have on the live stream where we watch someone intently looking for the Matrix information.
Read the Matrix.
Read the Matrix, yes.
The
Here,
movie?
I'll tell you exactly what it should be. Hold on.
Man, that's the thing. These people didn't do this for people like in the future to read.
So you look after the number. It should say 70
and their sight when they get older. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm the oldest guy here. Okay.
Actually, Mazzy, in the label, you should be able to see CSM in the label, on the left side of the left, parallel to side 1.
Oh, CSM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say? Does it say that there?
Yes.
Okay, so yours is the Columbia Santa Maria, and then it should probably say Sterling LH in the dead wax.
Yeah. Yep.
That is the
Anyway, I don't think it
original
sounds murky, but my favorite song on the album is probably the most schmaltzy song vocally, but is "New Kid in Town." I love that song. I just think
I like "Try and Love Again." "Try and Love Again" is probably
I like "Hotel California." I think it's kind of an epic song. I know it's been overplayed and stuff.
Overplayed too.
Yeah, but I mean, shit. This is the time when Rumors, this, and Frantic Comes Alive. I couldn't fucking listen to those records for 30 years. They were played so much.
Is it time again to finally?
The last 10 years or 5 years I have, because there was even a Day on the Green, a Bill Graham show I went to at the Open Coliseum Outdoor, and it was Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, and Frampton on the bill when they're all like at their peak.
So for Hotel California, the interesting thing about it is that there's like a little rattle in the middle of the intro, where it goes da, 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 and there's like a little rattle.
Yeah,
and certain pressings, the rattle stands out, and other ones it doesn't. So
right.
So that's just something I noticed right off the bat, was that certain pressings definitely had that rattle there, and for upfront and personal, where the other ones, some of them were more recessed in the background. Not that that's a deal breaker. But
Maurice, Mr. Stark, my deteriorating port.
Mazzy, this is 2 live streams in a row. He was also concerned for you on George's. I watched the end of George's. He also was concerned.
I know he's very concerned, but he's been very nice to me actually lately, which is surprising.
Well, at least he's not putting you on a couch and burning you with me and everybody else.
I love that Patrick does. He says the shit out loud that I want to say, and I say it. But like,
he says the silent part out loud. The effigy.
I can't wait.
Video,
I want to see your new couch photo come Austin.
I don't know where we'll be. Where there will be a couch. So
you got to find a fucking couch.
Well, it's Austin. There's probably
lobby of a hotel. Lobby of a hotel.
Jason, does your domicile have a couch? Can we take a photo to open ourselves up to ridicule and scorn and burn an effigy?
Stark, please don't. No.
No, listen. Stark is not that is Davy's strange name is the effigy man. Yes,
that's right.
Are we all going to stand on Jason's balcony and get?
You can just find a couch on a street. There'll be one on every other street corner in Austin. There's probably a bar with a couch. There's like pop-up bars all over Austin.
Jason, are you an ultra marathoner? Because no one's ever seen you sit down. So they're saying, that you don't sit down. So are you like an ultra marathoner? One of those 50-miler guys?
No. I just have like a stool. You see? Well, you can't see it, but this is like a.
Oh.
Do you steal that from a diner?
No.
There's
Can you send one to Chance? Can you send one to Chance while you're at it?
Please. Well, VU Meters thinks I'm actually live streaming from the back room of a casting couch set. This is not true because the casting director hasn't come in yet. So thank you very much. Thank you for asking.
We're having another party here Saturday night because my friend Jazz Shit Brooks is visiting. I haven't seen him since
Why do all your friends have nicknames?
Well, I just did it. It's for my YouTube. I just decided. Well, I told you he was my first roommate ever, and 50 years ago next year. And the turntable was in our living room. We had a 2-bedroom apartment in San Francisco, and whoever would get up first would run to the turntable, put music on. 9 out of 10 times in the morning, he put on jazz. So I said, "You're always putting on jazz shit," and I learned to love and learn about jazz then. But still, it's just become an ongoing thing.
Joe Marino's coming in hot. He said that had a better ring to it than Jazz Brooks shits.
Exactly. Our apartment theme song was the B-side, a Patti Smith singing. I think the single is Gloria, but the B-side was My Generation, the live version by Patti Smith. We don't need this fucking shit. That's a great single. Find that 7-inch. That was our apartment theme song. Every time we were in a mood, we'd crank that mother. It's good.
So is it safe to say that the Hotel California, back to that one real quick, that one step, everyone is unanimous, it's a good release? Patrick, what would you say?
I'm not saying it's bad, but I will, when I do my shootout, I'll post files so you can download the copies and listen for yourself. I think I did 3 songs on that one, maybe 3 or 2. I did 3 songs off of it, and so you can listen for yourself. And it's just kind of a fun experiment to do. That's why I don't say which one's what. Because so people can listen for themselves and decide.
Paper
You look like one was way
Man,
more.
that's disgusting. You have it. You got to rice paper that baby. Come on.
It hurt me to watch you do that.
That's right. That's painful. That's painful.
I don't think the MoFi sounds bad. I mean, I'm not an anti-MoFi guy anyway. So I'm not.
Look at no ring wear. No, almost.
Is it a paper sleeve, Mazzy? You came out on
it is a paper sleeve.
You're going to be disinvited.
He pulled it out since the day he bought it.
I have. So
So I will tell you. If I will tell you, do you want to know a hot take?
Please.
I got this in the mail yesterday. This is the half-speed master Dire Straits. I think this came out in the early 80s, mid 80s maybe. This was cut in the UK, and this is hands down the best sounding Dire Straits self-titled I've ever heard.
Definitive, Patrick. Definitive, the best.
I like to say for Jason Rojas, this is my way or the highway, people. This is the very best sounding.
Wow.
Is it a digital half speed or
I don't think so. I think, but it says strawberry. I didn't even know strawberry could do half speed mastering, so I have no idea. But I know that it sounded phenomenal. But it could be just the first time I heard it, it blew me away. But so that's another one that I have loaded up for the shootout, so everyone could listen to. But
yeah, I didn't know that strawberry did have masters.
Me either. I was freaked out. I was going, that says strawberry in here.
I was freaked out.
I was. I was like, holy shit.
This is actually a question. This is a question I think a lot of people have wanted to ask, but didn't have the courage until this live stream.
Okay, but
what
listen.
nickname do your friends call you?
Stop and think about it. It's obvious. Really?
You Norman?
Can I
Norman?
I mean, it's literally in my name. My nickname is Mazzy. My name is Norman Maslov. Maz was Maz, Mazzy, or they call me Maz or Mazzy.
So
it's a Maslov.
So this is not true. Someone said that this was digital. This is not. So
no, I asked if it was.
No. Somebody in the peanut gallery said it was digital. It says the tape is played at 16 and whatever RPM. The disc that is created, then played back at real speed, produces blah 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 blah. So there is analog half speed mastering, by the way.
Absolutely, that's all they did at the beginning. I mean, good God.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's how they, half speed was used for CD4 records.
Yeah. You addressed Michael in the chat, so good job.
I did. Yeah.
So those papers that they put in from half speed masters, are you telling me that in 30 years they might be handy to have? Because I always I want to throw them away. I don't know what the certificate thing is, and
lots of people did that. So like Super Disc just printed that shit on the inner sleeve, so you couldn't throw it away.
Throw
these people, we're gonna
and the
print
photos.
it on
Yeah, throw the advertisement and the photos of the employees away.
I saw you throw away a bunch of stuff that
Melinda. How many of those guys still even work there?
I saw you throw a bunch of shit that Melinda gave you across the room on your video, dude. I saw you.
Man, literally like, don't need this. Don't need this.
Don't
I
need
mean,
that.
dropping everything.
I'm consistent.
This was sent to me by the nicest person in the vinyl community. Here, let's throw it over here.
She even said, I don't care what, no. Melinda said, I don't care what you do with the box. It was very sweet of her.
And you took her literally.
So. No, on screen, by the way, on screen, yes.
You didn't get the video of the bonfire.
Why am I approaching 29,000 subscribers? Are you?
Oh,
start throwing those boxes. Start throwing those boxes. Start bitching about
now he's like freaking sub shaming you, dude. First it was all about furniture.
I didn't know we were gonna get some serious sub shaming going on here. Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Hey, Mazzy, are you gonna talk to John Darko on his podcast? I don't think
no,
so.
I'm not. I mean, I like John Darko's show. I like it. I don't watch every one.
A friend sent me this, which is a
phone.
Is that a paper?
For October, it says October 19, Vinyl Me Please will launch the first label collection for its So the Atlantic thing, it's Ray Charles for the classic. I know for the essentials.
I think they're doing an Aretha.
So is Atlantic just having a fire sale?
Here it is. Wait. So it's the classic one is the Booker T and the MGs, and then the Lupe
They're
Fiasco.
spreading the wealth for their 75th anniversary. I think it's
but
fine.
I
can't believe I'm the one defending Chad on this whole thing. It's bizarre.
No, I'm not
Shut
saying
the
that.
fuck
I'm
up,
saying,
Nancy.
how long will
There's really nothing to defend.
Exactly.
How long will the
Stupid.
75 anniversary go for? Like 3 years?
Yeah. Well, that
It's gonna be
happened
like
with
the Elton John final tour.
that
It's gonna
happened
be a
with Blue Note
5-year
80.
engagement.
Blue Note 80 went for 2 years. Blue
Right.
Note 75
I
went
don't
for
know.
3
It's like the
3
Who
years.
farewell tour from '82.
It's like Elton John's history. How many times has he quit?
Oh, by
Chad's
the way,
Chad's kids are going to come up in like a few years. Hey, we're still going.
Patrick, you're getting that the Who box set that I saw it was going to come out tomorrow.
The Planchet one. So I'm going to get the one that has the Planchet process because I'm so keen to like hear how that sounds. I'm
Which
very
album
very.
is this, Patrick?
Who's next? Remember we were on that live stream with that guy.
Oh, right.
Well, it has 2 live sets from like the same time around.
I did pre-order one of those.
It was from a college. It was from a college, right? They were at a college somewhere.
Yeah, like the Leeds thing.
Yeah, it was like Leeds. So yeah, that's something I am going to get for sure.
You know, my interesting. I when I was a kid, I got really into Who, and I'll say
You're
that
still a kid.
as far as yes, I guess. But when I was like 14, I guess, but more than 10 years ago. So but those live records, especially the Leeds one, I love because it's like the songs are not heavy at all, but they play them like it's like black metal. Like,
and it's warts and all on that thing, man. There's no overdubs or nothing, man. It's like
no, but that's what
noise.
I'm
We don't
saying.
care. Yeah.
My generation, that Leeds record sounds like they're playing like heavy metal, and it's my generation.
I think I ordered it through. That's a Universal, right? So I ordered it through my buddy because I get a discount through Universal if I order through her. But the main thing I wanted, not just the Plangent, but the live show. I was at that show at the Civic Auditorium, or one of those nights. I think they played 2 nights, so I don't know which night they're using, but that was a friggin' great show. So that's what I want. It's been bootlegged, that show.
So I think two of our panelists have the Morphine record. Rojas, you have it, right? And I know Mazzy has it.
They're so good. I like the last album the best that I've never heard before. That album that came out posthumously.
Is it the Wire one? Whatever it is.
No, it's oh shit. It's it's double and it's double 45 RPM.
You're talking about
That's a deal breaker for you, Messi.
It's great. This one.
The Night.
Yeah. This is the album that came out.
Jason showed that, I think, our last live stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. This was obviously recorded before he died, obviously. But this came out like he died on stage in Italy, had a heart attack. Great record. And it's there's more to it. So you could see the direction they were going in because they had to kind of get out of just that, 3-member thing. And there's some cello on here. There's acoustic guitar. It's really a beautiful record.
So there used to be a saying. There used to be a saying a long time ago in the vinyl community. That there's a band that you never mention Morphine around Nick Fantasy or Ron Beaudry. Now we're going to expand that to Mazzy. So you never mention Morphine because they'll just go off on a tangent.
No, for me it's been Little Feat. That's been my 2 months.
Well, now it's Morphine because I've seen you show that record at least 5 or 6 times.
I thought it would have been Fred Putterman actually, but
yeah.
So soon.
But the Pharaoh Standard is also coming tomorrow.
Yep.
Which I'm still to get the
Which one? What Pharaoh?
The Pharaoh Sanders. It's called Pharaoh. It's a record that Jason used to pull out, but
let's not bring it up.
Let's not bring it up. But
I have to give it to like Michael 45. Like he helped me find a dealer in Den Bosch where I sold that record, one record for a lot of money, But
yeah,
I'm never gonna
see, look, Nick Fantasy's all over that Morphine shit.
Yeah. Listen, Nick, we're not trying to take your corner. You guys, if you can let Mazzy warm his hands up on the Morphine corner once in a while, I think everything will work out.
No, Nick was
that
number one band, I think.
On that last record.
Nick was so nice. He texted me and said they're coming. I just heard it like just literally an hour or two before, but he texted me that they were being announced, and yeah, it was great. I love them; they're great.
Is that the Pharaoh Sanders you flipped at Den Bosch?
No, that's the new one. That's
No,
I mean, he had the original.
Oh, okay.
But what's interesting is.
So, but did you flip that one at Den Bosch? Is that what you flipped at Den? Okay. So now they have a nice. Do you have a nice reissue coming up? So it's like win-win.
It's David Byrne's label. It's David Byrne's label that's putting it out, which is interesting. Laka Bop, which I don't know. But I hope they start reissuing a lot of Pharaoh Sanders stuff. I mean, as far as jazz goes, if it doesn't sound like somebody going nuts, I don't want to listen to it. So I'm excited about that one.
That comes out tomorrow, you said, Jose?
Yes, tomorrow. I saw that Mike at the In-Group had it already in his hand. So
What?
Yes, he was like carrying it everywhere. He went to the bathroom with it. But
I really hope not, Jose. That's a really radical charge to put on somebody, that they took the record to the toilet with them. Come on,
Mike.
Yeah, but to read it, what else would he need us to read the line?
Mike literally read off all 75 or 70 Atlantic records.
No, in a video.
I mean, went by him pretty fast, but he read them off.
Wait, what jazz bum is that? It doesn't, jazz bum Chris.
Identify yourself, jazz bum.
Don't hide behind that generic jazz bum.
They live together like the Three Stooges.
Oh my!
No, he says, "Hey, all." I don't know who it is. I don't know. All right.
Were there any, Jose? I got to be honest. I really haven't paid attention to. I know the Goo Goo Dolls "Dizzy Up the Girl" 25th anniversary is dropping tomorrow, but outside of that, I haven't really paid attention to the new releases. Is there anything else hot coming out tomorrow?
Well, that Canciones para mi padre that Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, they reissue. Yeah, I have an original. That one. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody here knows, but tomorrow is what you people call Cinco de Mayo. Tomorrow is Independence Day for Mexico. So it's fitting that they put out that record. So
all right. So on my Mexican history, is that when the kids rolled themselves up in the flag and went down the hill, or is that
Yes. If see that I'm one.
So it's Quince de Septiembre, right?
Quince de Septiembre de los niños héroes.
Yeah.
Oh, so the kids with the flag is another day. And if anybody knows, there's some kids in a flag, and some say they were heroes because they threw themselves. I'm not Mexican, but they died. But somebody says that probably just stumbled and died. But so tomorrow is actual Independence. That tomorrow's the actual. Yeah, because nobody knows if it's legit that they did it or it's just somebody
It makes a good story though.
It is a good story, but yes, and Cinco de Mayo, it's the Battle of Puebla against the French people. But the reason it's celebrated in the U.S. is because after Mexico beat the French here, the U.S. was like, well, we can do it as well. So that's why it's so celebrated in the U.S., but it's not even a thing here.
Okay, let's move on to Dia de Muertos.
Day of the Dead. Yeah, well, hang on. I want to give Bill K a shout out. I'm very surprised. This is a late one. Bill K, thank you for joining us. I am very surprised to see you pop up on our stream. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Now we return back to the regular programming of
you don't want to. Okay.
Are we talking about Sting songs here? Are we talking about Sting songs? Dias de Muertos?
Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, that's
Day of the Dead.
A big thing here, Yes, Day of the Dead. Yes, it's So fittingly, I'm guessing it's not by any it's chance, but I think that's why they're releasing the Linda Ronstadt record.
Do you think they really have that much foresight to do that on that day, Jose, or is it just a coincidence? Do you really think they have that much foresight?
Yeah, of course they did.
A buddy of mine just got him in for his store, and there was a press release with it. So yeah.
So
it is for that?
They are.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess nobody told anybody, but I saw a lot of people that like that. I know Massey showed it.
Yeah. It's very popular.
It's interesting.
Which one?
I mean, I don't mind it, but
Canción por mi padre.
Like that here, that I don't
that's
think it's
a beautiful
that special.
record.
I think she does have a good voice.
She had to fight her record company. They kept
Yeah,
saying,
but
no,
it's just
every time she did
yeah, but
that,
it's just mariachi music.
they should have trusted her. It's just mariachi music, but her audience, and it sold huge in South America and Mexico, Central America. It's one of the biggest worldwide records at that time of Spanish songs. But also
I do see it all the time here.
Yeah, that's why, because it sold a lot.
It's,
but
but
even
the original is like a 40. It's like a $40
Nelson
record.
Riddle records.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said, don't do
Is there
the
like an
Nelson
animal
Riddle
on your
records.
lap, Jose?
The Nelson Riddle
Is
records.
there like an
sold a
animal
lot,
on your
too.
lap? Is there like some kind of
There's my dog.
Oh no!
Drop the chalupa.
Here's one, and then my other dog is here.
Hey, David Bianco. I know you said in the
Get
private
on
chat. I
Taco Bell.
wanted to give you a lane to promote Armando's store. So tell us what you're doing tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's going to have a soft open in Waco to Vintage Mio Records. I'm helping him get his setup going, and so yeah, he'll be doing a full grand opening, but we're doing a soft opening, getting the listing station set up and all that kind of stuff. But he's right near the farmers market area. He's about 5 blocks from the silos. So
look out for the ATF officers.
Absolutely.
Well, for those who don't know, can you give us like just a quick overview?
So I don't know what else is coming tomorrow. I
used to live in Portland, moved to Texas. He was selling records
yes,
near the silos, right?
Right. Yeah, he was selling near the silos in a place, and I guess he had a rent situation come up, which was like what rent, like raising rent thing. So he got a storefront. Now the good news is the storefront he has now, 2 doors down, they're building a cafe / bar with artists. So it's going to be vinyl by day, music by night. So
in 2 years, it'll be gentrified.
Oh, look what's coming up. Chance.
What's coming up?
Chance, look what's coming tomorrow. You'll probably be down for that.
Britney Spears?
Hugh Louis and the News.
The 40th anniversary.
Randy Savage?
Yes. Well, Jose, I'm here to tell you something.
Because I know
it's hard to find that album out in the wild.
That's
it's very hard to hang on.
Well, I know
Chance pictures in the 6 a.m. club in Mill Valley.
Jose, did you hear that? Hang on.
You like Huey Lewis in the News?
Oh, see, I even have a drop for Huey Lewis in the News. Look out. No,
hey, the MoFi of that's great. I have it.
It's actually a good MoFi, but I did.
The OG of that is phenomenal. The OG of that is great.
But the 40th anniversary, I have it in pool table green from, I believe Sound of Vinyl did an exclusive. So it's pool table green. Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy, if you ever go to the Bay Area, I will tell you where to go to that bar.
The actual bar? Okay, cool.
It's the 500 Club. It's the 6 a.m. Club in Mill Valley, just across the Golden Gate Bridge.
People still chant where to go all the time. I see it on streams every day.
Yeah, Dave, and when we went through when we packed up Coleman's collection, Coffee Dave and I went there, and I showed him there. We had a drink there.
Nice. So yes, Jose, already got it coming. I got my shipping notification. Pool table green, sir. Can't wait.
That just sounds disgusting. It really does.
But it's just green. I mean, let's be honest. But it's the green that it's very close to the color of the.
Very felt like. Very, very, very felt like.
Listen, I tell you what, Patrick. If I open that up and it's like a felt, it's not gonna happen.
Does it come with Q Chalk?
God help.
Where are your records going out, Jen?
They're in boxes.
Clean your stylus with that Q Chalk. There you go.
No, they're in boxes downstairs. I haven't set up my stuff yet because I'm using the opportunity of having all the records boxed up. No, I'm using the opportunity of having all the boxes, all the records boxed up to then take them out box by box, and I'll start organizing them in a good fashion. So,
what boxes did you end up getting?
I use those U-Hauls just because I could buy them.
They're fine. They're fine.
They work fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
got to get out of here. I got some work to do. So
strong tape.
I'll get off and so
got to run. Chance. Take
I will
care,
let
guys.
somebody.
You guys take it. Yeah, let's go and wind it down. We've been doing this pretty long. Well, guys, I want to thank you for joining me. We'll do this again in 2 weeks' time. Actually, that'll be the Thursday.
2 weeks. You'll be in Austin.
That's true. So we might do something. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, there it is.
Collection copy. A Coleman
Beautiful.
collection copy there.
Beautiful.
Right.
Those are hard to find in the wild, I'm telling you.
Listen, that's one of the greatest records ever put on vinyl. I'm just going to
And
say
you know,
that.
That's a great record. That's a great
come
record.
almost right after Led Zeppelin.
All right. Anyway, boys, appreciate it. We'll do it again soon. Thanks for coming on, everybody. Joined us. Thanks for everybody in the gallery. Check out the podcast, all that good stuff.
Thanks for having me aboard there, Captain.
Hey guys, take care.
Later.
Adios.
See you guys.
Bye.